HBCU fashion departments, thanks to companies like Gap. We've gotten incredible support from Nike and Nordstrom, and so many other companies have allowed us to be able to support these HBCU fashion departments as well as designers of color.
Through Harlem's Fashion Row, Daniel has forged relationships with popular brands and directly impacted young designers of color. I'm Bloomberg's Justin Milliner on the Black Business Beat.
Working as a dedicated Fidelity advisor, I always ask, what's important to you? I'll look at those priorities and goals alongside your full financial picture to build a comprehensive plan designed to help grow and protect your wealth. With proactive portfolio insights and an eye on taxes, I'm here to help you make the most of your money. I'm Laura Maxwell, and I'm a dedicated Fidelity advisor. Learn more at fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC, member NYSE, SIPC.
Now more than ever, Lowe's knows you don't just want a low price, you want the lowest price. And with our lowest price guarantee, you can count on us for competitive prices on all your home improvement projects. If you find a qualifying lower price somewhere else on the same item, we'll match it. Lowe's, we help, you save. Price match applies to same item, current price at qualifying retailers. Exclusions and terms apply. Learn how we'll match price at lowes.com/lowest price guarantee.
The views and opinions expressed on this program do not necessarily reflect that of the staff and management of Good Karma Brands, but are the sole responsibility of the hosts and guests of this particular show.
America may have many, many days, but they will be full of trouble. There will be no rest. There will be no tranquility in this country until the nation comes to terms with our problems.
Bringing you social and political commentary from his mouth to your ears, breaking down the issues which matter to you.
You are not put here to be a white man's footstool. You are put here to represent the very best in God's word.
Legendary civil rights icon, the Reverend Jesse Jackson in the studio. Reverend Jackson, how are you?
Mr. Sherwin, good morning on this chilly Milwaukee morning.
And I am pleased to have one of the founding members of the Black Panther Party, Chairman Bobby Seale. Mr. Chairman, how are you this morning?
Good morning. I'm doing just fine. Thank you.
From Mr. Eric Holder. Mr. Holder, so good to see you. How are you?
Well, I'm fine, man. How you been? It's been a long time. Haven't seen you for a while.
The Dr. Cornell West. Dr. West, how are you, sir?
My dear brother, you're so kind, you're so generous, though, man, but I salute you and the work that you were doing there. Doing a magnificent job there in Wisconsin.
Stream live on 1017thetruth.com. Call in with your questions or comments. 833-212-1017. Join us on social media at 1017 The Truth. It may not be what you expect to hear, but I will definitely give you what you need to know. Are you ready for the truth?
I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is Sherwin Hughes.
Good morning. Welcome to the program. Today is Monday, May 19th, 2025. It's no secret that Americans are on edge. We're very angry, mad about everything. And some of our debates and disagreements play out online. There are these rage posts, I'm going to call them, where someone will post something just to get visceral reactions from people. A lot of battle of the sexes stuff. Men, we're mad at the women. The women will, of course, you guys hate us, and it's evident with some of the things that we see posted in the responses. And I also see a lot of fight videos, and maybe it's my algorithm. Maybe it is the things that I click on and the internet and my applications and my social medias are showing me more of the things that I'm clicking on. I don't know what it is about an internet fight. I don't know. It's just very attention grabbing for me. I should stop looking at them so I can hopefully reform my algorithm, but I get a lot of them. And it seems that there's a large series of disagreements between African Americans, because it's always us that are fighting or arguing or debating or getting really angry at each other. And it pains me. It does, because I think that's a microcosm of what our community may be going through right now, because I'm not entirely sure of the direction that we are supposed to be moving in as a people. We don't really have that much social agreement. We're very stratified when it comes to income and education. We've had a lot of political disagreements because there's a sizable number of African Americans who believe that the primary political party that we subscribe to is failing us and failing us dramatically. So that's not really helping us get along either. And some of the more upsetting dialogues that I have seen as of late, up until fairly recently, have been between African Americans that just can't get along nor decide a direction for our people. Well, that was until probably Saturday afternoon or Sunday morning. I started doing my scrolling, just trying to get a feel for what the world is focusing on and prioritizing the latter part of the weekend. You know, and I've seen some really horrible things said about people and institutions. You know, everybody hates the billionaires, everybody hates Elon Musk, and they hate all the influence that very, very wealthy people have on this administration and on Donald Trump. Donald Trump, of course, is a part of that cadre of very wealthy people that are hated. And he uses angry rhetoric all the time. And I would say he has weaponized angry rhetoric in a way that has been politically beneficial for him. I would not recommend that for a Democrat, because the Democrats have got to be much more soft in their tone because their tent is so big and the likelihood that they will offend somebody is greater. And if the Democrats offend even a single constituency group, they could lose an election by a single point, and that can change the direction of the country. But of some of the worst things that I have seen as of late, the last 24, 48 hours, has come from people who, the MAGA faithful, of course, and I'm no stranger to them using really, really angry rhetoric to describe everything from Barack Obama to Kamala Harris. And when you really think about it, Donald Trump's angry words toward Barack Obama gave Donald Trump his original political platform. Trump had always been around. He'd always been in the pop culture and Americana culture ecosphere for the last 40 years, if not more than that, but never really for his political aspirations. In fact, he was known for supporting Democrats when it was politically expedient for him, as he was supporting Republicans. But when he brought up the notion that Barack Obama may not be a citizen, he really got a political platform because he was able to capitalize on the people that didn't like Obama because he was a Democrat, didn't like Barack Obama because of his racial heritage and his ethnicity, and didn't like Barack Obama because of the policies that he supported. Obama also represented a direction for this country, a new direction, an optimistic direction for most of us, but for other people, oh no, if an African American can get elected president, this is the downfall of America. So Trump came up with a really just mean-spirited concept that, oh, Barack Obama may not be a citizen. And so that's where a lot of this really, really horrible rhetoric, I think it began, it got honed, it got sharpened, and it essentially defines modern politics. But the worst things that I have heard in all of this whole era of just political meanness, and look, I'll admit, I've been politically mean too. But I'm just responding to them. I might be a Democrat, but I don't mean I'm soft now. Don't get it twisted. The things that the MAGA faithful and the evangelicals too, because those are the Christian people. They're the nice Christians and they love everybody and we're all God's children. They have said the worst thing about Joe Biden since his cancer diagnosis. This is the worst stuff that I have seen, and I've seen a lot of bad stuff. Oh, Joe Biden, the gates of hell are waiting for you, and Joe Biden, this is what you get. At the end of the day, whether you like him or not, whether you agree with his policies and his ideas or not, whether you think he won the 2020 presidential election or not, he is still a public servant of this nation. And the things that they have said about him with this aggressive cancer diagnosis that we recently have come to find out about is just, it's despicable. Now, I don't expect a lot from Trump. I don't. None of us should. Because if you have high expectations for him, you will get disappointed. But if you take away all of the conservative, Republican-leaning, MAGA stuff, cutting Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, food assistance, if you take away all of what Doge has done, which was a whole bunch of nothing, and if you look at all the influence of all these billionaires and you look at the South African refugees that Trump has brought over here, if you take away the fact that there are people who are in this country legitimately and legally that have been sent to a concentration camp in El Salvador, never to be seen again, take all of that stuff away. The primary role and responsibility as a president is to cool down that kind of rhetoric when it turns evil against a former president who is sick. Now, Trump did give a statement. He didn't write it. It was something that he was probably urged to okay, because I don't think that Trump would have said those words, but it was thoughtful. It was, Melania and I are hoping for the best for the former president. A very short statement, which we know that he didn't write. I think that he should do more than that. But again, that's me having a standard or an expectation for Donald Trump. Some of the things, and I do not advise you to go and look up some of the things, especially on the platform X. I heard it was worse on Truth Social, but I'll be damned if I download Donald Trump's social media platform, Truth Social, and have that on any of my devices. No, thank you. But I heard it's even worse. These horrible, horrible things that they're saying about President Joe Biden, like he deserved it or that's God punishing him. And I was thinking really, really hard. Because, we've talked extensively over the years that 1017 The Truth has been here about politics and about the different campaigns. And, when we were our first broadcast, Trump was president. January 4th, 2021, Donald Trump was still president the first day that 1017 The Truth launched. And every single day on every single one of our programs, we have kept our finger on the pulse of what the presidents are doing, what the campaigns are doing. It's also very ironic that the first day that we started broadcasting here, Donald Trump was president. Now Donald Trump is president again, sandwiched by a very, very short Joe Biden presidency. And I'm just trying to think of anything so horrible that Joe Biden did that would have the MAGA faithful rejoicing in the fact that he is sick. So I'm going to take a break. When I come back, we're going to talk about the very specific type of very rare metastasized prostate cancer that Joe Biden has and what his prognosis is. Now, he's an 82-year-old man who has had some bouts with cancer before, and he lost one of his sons to brain cancer as well. So I'm certainly wishing the president the absolute best. I wish I could wish him a speedy recovery, but the kind of treatment that he is going to be undergoing is not going to remove the cancer. It is just simply going to treat it, and we're all going to hope for the best. So I'm going to give you a few more details about that on the other side. But even those of you that listen to this program that are not Democrats, and there's a bunch of you that are not, just cool it on some of the rhetoric. That isn't necessary. Joe Biden is not the president anymore. I thought for the period of time in which he was elected, he was necessary. He was needed to be a stopgap between what 2 consecutive terms of Donald Trump would have done. I wish Kamala Harris would have won. I might be alone in that sentiment, but I think that Joe Biden served a very necessary purpose, not only as president of the United States for 4 years during the worst of COVID, but also being the co-pilot to Barack Obama during his very successful 8 years in office. We're going to talk a little bit more about the former president's cancer diagnosis on the other side. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 FM. We'll be right back.
Don't touch that dial. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
It's Dr. Ken Harris, and you can watch me now live on YouTube every weekday from 4 to 6 p.m., and you can watch the best radio show in Wisconsin by going to 1017 The Truth on YouTube. Watch me explore the issues which are shaping our community while also having fun discussions, pop culture, current events, all kind of stuff going on right here on YouTube right now by subscribing to 1017 The Truth. Milwaukee Black Talk is now streaming live on YouTube.
This is your Planned Parenthood Advocates of Wisconsin Minute.
Victory Garden Initiative is an 1.5 acre urban farm that sits right in the middle of the Black community on Richards and Concordia. I don't know if you know that Harambe is a food desert. So within its borders, there are no major grocery stores. So people rely on things like dollar store, corner stores, liquor stores to buy food, which is all unhealthy. Everything we grow, and we grow everything, tomatoes to potatoes to carrots to corn to onions, and so on. And everything we grow is free to the community. It started in 2009. They wanted to build a sustainable food production system that was healthy and sustainable. And what that meant was giving people the resources to grow their own food and the skills to make sure that those attempts were successful.
This has been your Planned Parenthood Advocates of Wisconsin Minute. Coming with straight truth.
I wonder how many of these kids that's running around here, if they tested them for lead, look up lead crisis in different townships and look at the behavior and then look at what's going on in Milwaukee and match it up. Do your little research. Go get your thumbs instead of getting in the comments and arguing with folks. Go look up the side effects of a lead poison environment, then watch the news.
Catch the Tory Lowe Show every weekday from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. Coming with straight truth.
So how did we get where we are now? How did we get where we are now in relation to affirmative action that people many times really don't understand what the outcome was for affirmative action? We don't understand what the outcome was for DEI, but yet we scream and praise it, but we don't really understand it.
Listen to Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris every weekday from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. on 1017 The Truth and the Truth app. This is The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
From the Washington Post, former President Joe Biden has been diagnosed with an aggressive form of prostate cancer, and it has spread to his bones. So before I go on, you have to wonder how long he has known. And I know that there's specific PSA tests that are given to men. They have recommended that they're less frequent. So what we're seeing is a higher diagnosis of men with prostate cancer. Now, if caught early, very, very treatable. There's no cure, but it is treatable. And the particular type of prostate cancer that the former president has is treatable with a particular hormone therapy. That hormone therapy, it reduces the amount of testosterone. Now, I don't need to tell all of you that reduced testosterone in men creates its own healthcare problems and side effects, et cetera, et cetera. So I suppose that's the good news, that it is responding to hormone therapy. But we also had questions about Joe Biden's health really since the first day of his presidency. How long did they know? We saw his very gradual but consistent decline. It was that debate that was in June of 2024 that essentially sealed his fate as a presidential candidate running for re-election. But was he sick then? And if he was sick then, so all of these conspiracies now are coming to light because there was always rumors that Joe Biden wasn't doing well. And you could tell he wasn't doing well. But then it makes you think, Why didn't he step down? Giving the presidency to Kamala Harris and allowing her to take over the reins of the executive branch of government, maybe working on an issue or two prior to the heating up of the campaign, where she could have been running as president of the United States. I have a sneaking suspicion, because the cancer that Joe Biden has, it spread, which means that it went undetected for a period of time, or they knew about it. And I also noticed in all of the articles that I've read, because this is one of the more sensationalized topics in all of the media over the last 24 or 48 hours, they don't tell you what stage of cancer he is in. That suggests to me he is in stage 4. That suggests that he is in the most severe stage of this particular type of prostate cancer. Why didn't he step down? We could be in a totally different position as a nation had he stepped down. Now, this does not guarantee that Kamala Harris would have won, but I just have a feeling it would have been slightly easier for her to get across that finish line had Joe Biden said, hey, you know what? I've been in public service a long time. He wouldn't even have to disclose to us the reason why he stepped down. And if he did, we would have seen it as a great political gesture. Hey, I selected Kamala Harris to be my running mate. I'm getting old. I want to do other things with my life. The country is in good hands. That's why I selected her. Hey, I'm going to step down and give her the reins of the presidency. Now, the right would have went crazy and Fox News would have went nuts, but they went crazy and went nuts over anything Joe Biden said or did anyway. But it makes me wonder, are some of the rumors that we heard true, that the Harris camp, because she had her own people, did not like Joe Biden, and Joe Biden's people and their camps did not like Kamala Harris? It just, all of this stuff now seems to come to fruition. Prostate cancer is one of the most common types of cancers amongst men, especially older men. It usually grows slowly and initially remains confined to the prostate gland, where it may not cause any serious harm. But some types of prostate cancer can be aggressive and spread quickly to other parts of the body, including the bones. Former President Biden's office said yesterday that the cancer is subject to, quote, effective management, and that Biden and his family are reviewing treatment options with his physicians. Last week, President Joe Biden was seen for a new finding of prostate nodule after experiencing increased symptoms, said a statement from Biden's personnel office. On Friday, he was diagnosed with prostate cancer characterized by a Gleason score of 9, group 5. I don't know what that means in cancer speak, but I had to do a little looking up of some things. Gleason scores go from 6 to 10. And if you have a Gleason score of your cells, that means they're probably benign. 7, 8, 9, or 10 means that you have a malignant form of cancer that is a bit more aggressive. This man is already at a 9. I'm over here thinking that, and I know I'm not wrong, that if you're president of the United States or even former president of the United States, you are going to get the best health care on the planet. I just don't believe that this cancer went undiagnosed for so long that it's now, and they're not telling us the stage, which means it's stage 4, if I had to guess, and that his Gleason score is at a 9 and the cancer has spread to his bones. I'm wondering, how long did he know, and did he keep that a secret from the American people? And he very well may have. Now, this is the other thing that's very tough to reconcile. We, as the American people, want to know about the health of our president. You guys remember Donald Trump's first Surgeon General, or his, I'm not a Surgeon General, but his, because presidents have their own physicians. They get to pick their own doctor. And I remember that during Donald Trump's first term, Trump loves the McDonald's now. He loves it. In fact, for his trip to the Middle East, in Saudi Arabia, I think that was the country, they built him a mobile McDonald's, which, not gonna lie, is kind of dope. It kind of was. It was in a trailer, and it had like fake wood paneling on it, and it had a fake McDonald's. Imagine just, I think I want a hash brown. McDonald's hash browns, better than the fries, you ask me. They got some of the best hash browns on earth. Zach is producing this morning. Zach, you good? You all right? You hanging in there today?
What's up?
All right. Just making sure you're all right. Trump's original physician, because presidents get an annual physical, and they report it to the American people because we want to know the health of our president. But at the same time, there's a federal law called HIPAA. HIPAA is the Health Insurance Privacy and Portability Act. So a lot of times when you go to the doctor, or if you haven't been to the doctor in a while, they always give you those forms to sign, got a bunch of words on it. Nobody ever reads it. They just tell you to sign a date at the bottom. That basically says that the doctor that you are seeing or the specialist that you are seeing is going to keep your medical information private unless you give them permission to share it with another party. It could be another person, it could be another doctor, another physician, etc. But we take health insurance privacy very, very seriously in this country, and presidents are no exception to that. If they don't want you to know something, there's actually a federal law to where they don't have to disclose anything. But at the same time, the American people need to know the health of their president. So Donald Trump's first physician released their first report on Donald Trump's health. And Trump is not a healthy dude. And he ain't no spring chicken either. He's pushing 80 and he loves the McDonald's, okay? But Trump's physician, when they released their first report, said Donald Trump is so healthy that he might live to be 200 years old. So there is a history of the president's hand-picked physicians lying to us. And I have a sneaking suspicion that Joe Biden's physician probably lied to us too. Last week, President Biden was seen for a new finding of a prostate nodule after experiencing increased urinary symptoms, said a statement from Biden's personnel office. On Friday, he was diagnosed with prostate cancer characterized by a Gleason score of 9, group 5, with metastasis to the bone. The diagnosis represents a more aggressive form of the disease, but the statement said the cancer appears to be hormone sensitive, which allows for effective management. The pathology report gave Biden's cancer a Gleason score of 9, in which 10 is the highest possible number, according to the statement from his office. We certainly are wishing the absolute best for the former president, and I can't say he's going to make a speedy recovery, but whatever life he has left, I hope that life is filled with great joy. In a little while, we're going to be visited by a gentleman who is running to be the next chair of the Wisconsin Democratic Party. His name is Devin Remiker, and he's going to tell you about himself and also his vision if he is elected chair of the Wisconsin Democratic Party. Some of you may know that the outgoing chair of the Democratic Party of Wisconsin, Ben Wickler, is deciding to move on and pursue other opportunities. And Ben was actually a really, really good chair for the party and was there overseeing many great victories. Unfortunately, the 2024 presidential election was not one of them, but there were a couple of Supreme Court races and also the election of Joe Biden in 2020, in which Ben Wickler was around. And Devin Remiker was around as well as the executive director of the party. But now that Ben Wickler is moving along, Devin wants to take his place, and he's going to be here in a little while to tell us exactly why you all should support him as the next chair of the Wisconsin Democratic Party. You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Escape to paradise this summer at Chula Vista Resort in Wisconsin Dells. Spacious accommodations, perfect for families or romantic getaways. Voted top 10 best water parks in the U.S., championship golf, the longest zip line in the area, and the #1 steakhouse in Wisconsin. Book a Chula Vista Resort all-inclusive package now at 1-800-388-4782 or visit chulavistaresort.com. Your summer paradise awaits.
Keep your business safe, secure, and spotless with the Omega Security Guard and Cleaning Team. Proudly located in Milwaukee and female-owned, Omega delivers professional security and tailored cleaning services to meet your needs. Whether it's event security or a custom cleaning plan, their dedicated team goes above and beyond to exceed your expectations. Because at Omega, they're not just your service provider, they're your partner in peace of mind. Contact Omega Security Guard today or online at omegasecurityguard.com. Omega Security Guard and Cleaning, protecting what matters most.
It's time for Truth Takes, a thought-provoking commentary on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. Here is Dr. Ken Harris with his truth.
You know, in life, our journey is not meant to be walked alone. As much as self-reliance and independence are celebrated, we need an inner circle, a group of trusted friends who uplift, challenge, and remind us of our purpose. Your inner circle is more than just companionship. It's your compass. These are the people who see your potential when self-doubt clouds your vision, who tell you the truth, even when it's uncomfortable, and who stand beside you when the weight of the world feels unbearable. You know, the value of an inner circle is not just in the emotional support, but in accountability. They hold us to our highest standards, ensuring we don't settle for mediocrity. It's through this circle that we refine our thoughts, grow in character and courage to face life's battles. Today is no exception. Choose wisely. Surround yourself with people who inspire you, energize you, and believe in your dreams as much as you do. They will then shape your growth, strengthen your resilience, and celebrate your victories. You know, James Baldwin once said, "The place in which I will fit will not exist until I make it." Your inner circle is part of that place, a foundation for your growth, your success, and most importantly, belonging.
This has been Truth Takes on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. Listen to The Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris, weekdays from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Welcome back to the program. In studio, Mr. Devin Remaker. He is a candidate for Democratic Party of Wisconsin chair. Welcome to the program, Devin. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
We have a pretty big task ahead of us.
Yes, we do.
And as party chair, I think some of the organizing of the 72 different county parties, some of that will fall on you. What makes you qualified to lead what could be 72 very different and distinct county parties and unite them under the Wisconsin Democratic Party?
100%. Well, I think that I have just an immense amount of experience. When I'm running for this position, I have been at the Democratic Party of Wisconsin for the past 7 years. I was actually here before our departing chair, Chair Ben Wickler, who I think has done tremendous things to strengthen our party all across the state, especially in the 6 years he's been there. But I previously also have worked for Congressman Ron Kind in western Wisconsin, where a lot of my job was kind of showing up to the 18 counties in his sprawling district that went from Eau Claire to Grant County all the way up to Portage County. And I think that I already have a track record at the party of being able to bring what I saw from folks on the ground during my tenure with Congressman Kind to make change, whether that is supporting year-round offices around the state, supporting our candidates for local and state office, including the ones who might not be targeted but are still being sort of ambassadors for our party on the ground. And I think that these are the sort of things that we've established a really solid foundation on at the Democratic Party of Wisconsin under Chair Lanning, then Chair Wickler. And I just want to keep growing over time because I think it needs to be all hands on deck if we want a chance to win both the Assembly and the Senate next year and finally get the trifecta to be able to pass policies to improve people's lives.
For the foreseeable future, the state of Wisconsin is going to be the center of the political universe. And so the election of Susan Crawford to the Wisconsin State Supreme Court, which I know that you had a hand in,
yes,
is that a harbinger of what's to come? And can we be optimistic moving into the midterm elections of 2026?
I think we should be optimistic, but I think that we also need to take this moment seriously. I think that our nation is in a moment of peril. I mean, candidly. I mean, we're just seeing things that, I never thought that we'd see in this country. Judges being arrested, the Department of Homeland Security threatening to imprison our governor for simply telling state employees to consult with an attorney when they are presented with legal documents, right? Like this is a really serious moment. And I think that we do have right now the right maps at the right time with the right possibility for change. But if we don't put in the work and we don't show up, we're not going to be able to fully capitalize on it. So I don't think Democrats can take anything for granted.
Let folks know some of the duties of a state party chair. You're more than just traveling around the state being a cheerleader. There's a whole bunch of other duties that might exist behind the scenes that folks may not know about. So tell us what the job would be like if you were fortunate enough to be elected party chair.
Yeah, absolutely. So, an unfortunate reality of politics these days is that we have to raise money, especially when you have folks like Elon Musk who tried to, buy a judge last spring. We have to have the resources to be able to compete. And, all those organizers, all of the fantastic staff that we have, it has to come from somewhere. So fundraising is a core component and, something I have experience with and have been able to learn a lot from Chair Wickler, who has been, I think, the most successful state party chair in terms of fundraising throughout his tenure. He has raised over $200 million, and that's without counting the money that we get from partners like the DSCC or the DNC. So I think that's a tremendous part of what we have to do to support our team and support our candidates around the state. And then you also have to, as you noted, get out, travel around, rally folks, mobilize. And then I think that there's also sort of a vision and leadership component to being state party chair. Ultimately, you have to leave your mark on the organization, decide what the priorities are, and figure out how you're going to sort of adjust to the times and make sure that the organization and the staff can execute on that vision.
So for people that are listening and you may want to support Mr. Remaker in his bid to be the next Wisconsin Democratic Party chair, you have to be a member of the state. You can also be a member of the county party. Is that correct? Is that
correct?
Automatically
It's the same thing.
Okay.
Same thing. Yep.
You have to be a member of the Wisconsin's Democratic Party or your county party, but then you have to attend the convention to actually vote. Can you kind of walk people through what their process is like?
100%. Yep. So right now, you basically have until the end of the week to sign up to be a delegate. So you reach out to your county party and ask your chair to put you on the delegate list. Most places still have plenty of room to have folks sign up to be delegates. And once you're on the list and you're a member in good standings, you got to make sure that membership's up to date. You're able to attend our convention on June 14th and 15th at the Chula Vista in Wisconsin Dells. June 14th is when we have a lot of exciting speakers. We also have some trainings and other opportunities for folks to engage. Sunday morning will be the election for the chair position, along with all of our other offices.
It's no secret that the Democrats have a very, very big tent. Sometimes I think it's too damn big, but it's a welcoming party that appreciates the diversity that exists here. How do you square the circle of, because Wisconsin, we're in an interesting place because you've got urban Wisconsin, you've got rural Wisconsin, you've got cities like Milwaukee, and then you have the political trends of places like the Fox Valley, and you have, Racine and Kenosha, which have been kind of topsy-turvy in whether they're supporting Donald Trump or supporting the Democratic candidate. How do you combine all of that? So in 2026, for example, and I have no idea what Governor Evers is going to do. I have a suspicion of what I think he's going to do. I'm not going to say that right now on the air. But then how do you combine this very big tent and all the diversity that exists and the racial diversity and the cultural diversity of Wisconsin? How do you combine that into one message that can be communicated that, hey, all you folks in Wisconsin, put your vote, faith, and trust behind the Democratic candidate? Like, what is that mission like?
I mean, it's a tough one. But ultimately, I think politics is the art of addition. It's about figuring out how we bring people with us and having a unifying message that spans across race, age, gender. That is ultimately the crux of the problem. I think one place where Democrats often fall short is sometimes we focus on what divides us internally, the bones we have to pick within that big tent, instead of focusing on what unites us. And to me, the things that unite us at our party are fighting for the working class, defending our fundamental rights and freedom, and protecting our very democracy. And I think those three things, generally, no matter where you're at in that big tent, I think all Democrats can agree on. And I think we need to get out of our own way a little bit and focus fire on the opposition instead of ourselves. And ultimately, I think that is one of the big jobs of the chair, is figuring out how we hold that together, even when it can be tempting to let good be the enemy of perfect or perfect be the enemy of good, depending on what perspective you're taking. I think that is central to the mission and something I think Chair Wickler has done a fantastic job at, and I hope to be able to continue.
Where do you think, because you've had high-level positions in the party and have probably been privy to a lot of political conversations that most of us have not, where do you think we as a state miss the mark in 2024? I was terribly disappointed because I thought that Kamala ran the best campaign she could have in the very short period of time that she had. She raised a lot of money. She showed up. She was visible. It seems that she had learned some of the lessons from the past, which I gave her a lot of credit for. She did things, I think, better than Hillary Clinton did. She didn't take anything for granted. Where did we miss, or was there little that we could have done to turn Wisconsin blue? Because I'll admit, this is embarrassing that we're a red state for a number of reasons. But where do you think we may have missed the mark? And I think, what lessons have you learned in what took place in 2024 for us not to repeat those mistakes in the past?
Absolutely. Well, I think there's a couple of things with that. I am very proud that Wisconsin, and there's no consolation prize in politics, but I am proud that Wisconsin was the closest of the 7 battleground states, which is not really what people expected at the outset. Usually Michigan and Pennsylvania have been to the left of us in midterm elections and presidential elections previously. We held it the closest. And when I think about this from sort of the work of the state party versus sort of the national forces and the national brand and a lot of things that are outside of our control, I do think that the intensive work that we put in is part of the reason why we still have U.S. Senator Tammy Baldwin in office when you look at sort of the difference there. Now, I'm not going to chalk everything up to simply national trends outside of our control. I think there are things that we could have done better operationally on the ground. I think that we generally have had a really robust organizing apparatus in the state. It's something that the Democratic Party is immensely proud of. But I think that as that has gotten bigger and bigger and reached an unprecedented scale in 2024, when you have something that big, I think there's a tendency to try to simplify and make everything a sort of one size fits all. And I think that what we found was that in a lot of places, that didn't totally meet the mark. It didn't pass muster. It didn't feel authentic to communities, especially here in Milwaukee, where it felt like we were sort of taking an old school approach of, knocking on doors based on, where the voter file tells us to go. And I think that was leaving a lot of people out. And also, I think the biggest thing for me, one of my biggest takeaways, was that the Democratic Party of Wisconsin has abdicated its responsibility to do voter registration work. Scott Walker made it a lot harder. And honestly, he probably wanted us to take a step back from that. And it has not been a major part of our programming at the state party. I think that needs to change. I think we need to get back in the business, not just of talking to the voters who are on the voter file, but getting new people engaged and getting them on there.
For more information, go to devonforchair.com. The state party convention is going to be held at the Chula Vista Resort. The date for the convention, one more time, Devon?
June 14th and 15th. Election day is the 15th.
I say good luck to you. You have my support, and we'll talk to you very, very soon when you're chair of the Wisconsin Democratic Party.
Thanks for having me on. I look forward to it.
My pleasure. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. We'll be right back.
More of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes is next on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Here at the new 101.7 The Truth, we aim to be a staple in Milwaukee's Black community. We are committed to partnering with local organizations and supporting Black-owned businesses. We are proud to call Milwaukee our city and promise to be a positive reflection of our community. We look forward to celebrating Black culture and excellence with you every day as we make history and continue to uplift the voices in our city. Join us for the journey at the new 101.7 The Truth, founded by Gruber Law Offices. Milwaukee, Black Talk.
Experience some of the most cherished popular music of all time when the Milwaukee Symphony Orchestra presents Let's Groove Tonight, Motown and the Philly Sound, May 23rd through the 25th at the Bradley Symphony Center. Byron Stripling will lead the MSO and an exciting trio of vocalists that include Broadway superstar Chester Gregory, Ashley J., and Brick Liam in a musical sojourn of hits made famous by legendary talents such as Lou Rawls, Marvin Gaye, Diana Ross, and The Temptations. Songs like My Girl, I Heard It Through the Grapevine, and I'm Coming Out will come alive in fun and stylish arrangements that are sure to have you dancing and humming along in your seat. Let's Groove Tonight, Motown and the Philly Sound runs May 23rd through the 25th only. So lock up your tickets right now by calling the box office at 414-291-7605 or visit mso.org.
Ready to buy your first house, move into your forever home, or simply refinance? At Associated Bank, They've got you. With the right lending plan and guidance, you can achieve your dreams. Your financial goals are closer than you think, and Associated Bank is excited to help you reach them. Learn more at associatedbank.com/lending or ask a banker for details. Subject to credit approval, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Immerse yourself in a place where bold ideas are sought after, where all are encouraged to bring their personal flourish. Here, innovation is a way of life. In this city, the beat flows. Together, we're dancing to the rhythm, forward. Now, it's your turn to grab hold of that energy, where you'll remember not just the meals, the celebrations, or the oncoming coast. What you'll remember is how we made you feel. Come experience Milwaukee, where fresh meets fearless every day.
Life's better with American Family Insurance, because whether it's a family road trip in your dream car or hosting a family reunion in your dream home, we help you feel protected so you can enjoy those dreams with peace of mind. Save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
It's The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
There's, I guess, a lot of negative things that I could say about the current president, but I think at this point, either it falls on deaf ears or it just sounds like we're complaining. Because I think people know what his issues are, but they weren't enough to prevent him from getting reelected. Or it could be a case of the Democrats have set such a high standard that Kamala Harris couldn't meet it. Joe Biden was around. He's been there. He's a familiar commodity. The African-American voter base in the Democratic primaries leading up to the 2020 election felt very comfortable with Joe Biden, and we needed a safe choice. He also was a temporary fix, and there was a lot going on when he got elected. You know, COVID was a problem. The American economy was essentially shut down. We had to get our supply chain back in order. And this is when you want somebody who is experienced. And he also was an extension of the Obama administration. I don't know if a lot of people see him as that, because he is and has been his own politician for many, many years. But the fact that he provided, I think, really good leadership and guidance to Barack Obama without overshadowing him is extremely important. And when Barack Obama gave Joe Biden that Presidential Medal of Freedom, which is the highest civilian honor that a president can bestow on anybody, that was more of a symbol to us. Now, we didn't know that President Biden was going to lose his son, Beau, to brain cancer. And I think had that not taken place, Joe Biden would have run in 2016 as the heir apparent to Barack Obama, and I think he would have won and he would have served 2 terms. It's amazing to think how different this nation would be had Joe Biden served 2 consecutive terms after those 2 terms of Barack Obama. We would be a totally different country. However, I digress. Of the worst things that I can say about Donald Trump, yeah, I guess it's some of his personal failings, him being a bad businessman, him trying to overthrow the government, him paying prostitutes, like all of that stuff. But that doesn't matter to the American people. There's this conspiracy, and it's more like a cult. We haven't heard about them in a while because they've been quiet, or maybe I just haven't been paying attention. But they're called QAnon. You guys remember QAnon? Well, apparently QAnon is resurfacing, and Donald Trump is now reiterating some of their insanity via his platform. Trump can be a lot of things. He cannot be a cult leader or a conspiracy theorist, because that does more damage to our democracy than anything else. The thing about a democracy, and it's very complicated, But it falls apart when people stop believing that it can be functional, when people stop believing that we all working together creates a better America. And it also falls apart when lies take the place of truth. And that is exactly what QAnon is. It is a cult of really, really weird people. Like if you had a QAnon person in your family, that's the person that you no longer invite to holidays. You don't invite them to the 4th of July and to the Thanksgivings and the Christmases. But the fact that they believe, and I'm not kidding you, this is one of their beliefs, they believe that Democrats, led by Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton, are leading a child sex ring, and also, and they're cannibals. So they eat. Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama have a child sex trafficking ring. And also, if that wasn't bad enough, they're also cannibals that eat people. And Donald Trump is echoing that rhetoric. So I don't know in what parallel universe does that get the cost of groceries down? But this is probably one of the worst attributes of this president, the fact that he can fall into a conspiracy theory. And this guy is the leader of the free world. There are other nations that are no longer going to take Americans seriously. And I want to travel. I've never left the country before. You guys know that. I tell you about that all the time, that I want to travel and go places. But I'm worried about, well, a couple of things. Getting on an airplane, I'm worried about that too, because we've had a bunch of incidents with air traffic controllers and airplanes and all sorts of stuff, because Trump and Elon Musk and Doge fired everybody and cut everything. They even cut the things that we need to make sure that we can feel safe in the air. So I'm not comfortable traveling and flying because of that. But also our reputation as Americans. You know, you can go to another country, be on a vacation, enjoy yourself, be on a resort, get picked up, arrested on total accident, total mistake. I am not confident that whoever our ambassador is to the country I may be visiting would even help me get out of confinement in another country if I was arrested illegally. And I know that most people don't think about such things, but I do. I think about that. Oh, we got an American. Yeah. Well, what does the U.S. Embassy say? What does the State Department say about, should we work with the Trump administration to release this American that we have? Next thing you know, I'm in El Salvador. And all I wanted to do was go to Jamaica and go to hedonism and walk around just wearing a fig leaf on my junk. And then I get shipped over to El Salvador. I don't need that. President Donald Trump went on a reposting spree over the weekend on his Truth Social platform. This story appears in rawstory.com, endorsing a series of AI-generated QAnon conspiracy theory propaganda images, as well as a call to arrest former President Barack Obama for a military trial. Like, this is nuts. I'm just trying to think that if Barack Obama created his own social media platform and then called for the arrest and the military tribunal of some of his political opponents, and there were fake images that were generated, and Barack Obama, who was president at the time, if Obama did any of this stuff, I would want Barack Obama removed as president. There's a fundamental obligation that you have if you're a supporter of a president or of a political party. If they're doing crazy stuff that threatens the sanctity of this nation, as a Trump supporter, you all should be the most vocal in condemning this stuff. And the fact that they aren't. Representative Al Green from Texas, who's been a very vocal critic of Donald Trump's, he's trying to drum up impeachment. So just to put things in perspective, Trump has already been impeached twice, did nothing besides get him reelected. In fact, Bill Clinton was impeached too, and he became a rock star in the Democratic Party, traveling all over the country, helping get Democrats elected for like a decade or more after his impeachment. Impeachment won't work. First of all, because Trump is committing an impeachable offense 3 or 4 times a day. But the Republicans in Congress, in the House of Representatives and the U.S. Senate, that are giving Donald Trump cover when he says he wants to accept a $500 million jet from a foreign adversary. For a Republican to vote to impeach Donald Trump, they actually would be voting to out themselves because they're all supporting him. So you can't be supportive of Donald Trump doing the things that he's doing, saying what he's saying, retweeting QAnon conspiracy theorist, cultist images, and then vote to impeach him. But I think Democrats are going to screw this up. The country likely will go in a different direction. The very narrow majority that the Republicans have in the House of Representatives will get erased. The Democrats will have, I don't know how many seats they're going to pick up, and I dare not guess because they're going to find a way to screw it up some kind of way. But they will have a majority in the House of Representatives, and we know that that is where impeachment begins. The conviction happens in the Senate, and there's no way they'll get 67 U.S. senators to vote to remove Donald Trump. They may try, but all that's going to do is anger Trump even more, and who knows what the hell he's going to do once he becomes more angry. But trying to impeach Trump and beating that drum right now is a complete waste of time. And I get it. You got to go on the record and identify all of the things that Donald Trump did that were nefarious, that were immoral, that were illegal, that were high crimes and misdemeanors, because that stuff needs to be on the official record for history to be able to review. But I just think Democrats are going to spend so much time on the impeachment and having committee meetings, and they're going to have a hearing, and they're going to subpoena everybody. I think that we are long, long past that. And so while I appreciate Representative Green from Texas being a vocal opponent to Donald Trump, impeachment is the wrong way to go. It began Sunday morning, reported the Daily Beast, when Trump retruthed an image of himself standing next to Obama with the caption, "All roads lead to Obama. Retruth if you want military tribunals. QAnon is a Nazism-inspired conspiracy theory dating back to anonymous online message board posts from a person claiming to hold Q-level security clearance that alleges that public figures, usually Democrats like Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton, are running a satanic child trafficking cannibal ring with the world spanning power and influence over the U.S. government specifically." I'm going to pause there, and we'll pick it up for hour two. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. We'll be back in a couple minutes.
This is 101.7 The Truth's Kyle Wallace, and I am Milwaukee. I take great pride in being a 414 boy and representing the city that I love. The great memories I have of going to Northtown Cinema to see movies with family and friends, to going to Capitol Court to see the Black Santa Claus, this city has helped shape me into the man that I am today, and I pledge to utilize my voice as a way to advocate for you in our community. Join the home of Milwaukee's realest conversations where you can speak your truth. We are the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. Milwaukee Black Talk.
From the biggest stars to the greatest moments, Behind the Bucks is Bucks history like you've never heard it before. Go behind the scenes of the Emmy-nominated Giannis documentary. Get the real story of the blockbuster trade for Damian Lillard. Hear the origin of Bucks in 6. It's all on Behind the Bucks on the Bucks Plus audio network, presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and wherever you get podcasts.
Carrie, where's Tori Lowe and Dr. Ken at? I'm trying to knock these commercials out.
How am I supposed to know, Sherwin?
Well, I'm about to do their parts because my impressions are on point anyway. This is Dr. Ken Harris from Truth in the Afternoon, and I want you to download the Truth app in the Google Play Store and Apple Store so you can never miss my show or any of the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. Really, Kyle?
Sherwin, you are crazy.
Sherwin, your impression of me is horrible. Move. Give me my mic. I guess I'll just repeat what Sherwin said. Go to the Google Play Store or Apple Store to download the 101.7 The Truth app today so you can take the home of Milwaukee Black Talk with you wherever you are.
Can't listen live? Download the new 101.7 The Truth app on your smartphone today to catch up on all your favorite shows. Search 101.7 The Truth on your Google Play Store or Apple App Store so you don't miss out on any of the action.
Day 1, diagnosis day. The hardest day. The day you hear,
"I'm sorry, this is a type of blood cancer."
But day 1 is just one day. At the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, we are here to help you move past day 1.
On day 45, I discovered an online community who shared great tips for in-treatment care.
I missed a lot of school during treatment, and LLS helped me keep up.
We are here for you. We exist for everyone fighting leukemia, lymphoma, myeloma, and other types of blood cancer.
On day 185, LLS helped me file my insurance claims properly.
Day 5,840 and counting, and I'm still in remission.
To learn more and get help on day 1, day 2, day 983, or any day, please visit LLS.org or call 1-800-955-4572. That's LLS.org, 1-800-955-4572.
Listen to the home of the 5K Gruber Cash Giveaway. 1017 FM, 1510 AM, WGKB Waukesha, and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. More of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Welcome to Hour 2 of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. So you got the President of the United States retweeting, well, they call it retruthing because it was on Truth Social. Sometimes I think I should download Truth Social just to see like some of the crazy stuff, but I think it will further erode my confidence in this administration. Plus, I don't know what kind of tracking device they have buried deep within the Truth Social app. I told y'all I got rid of TikTok in 2020, either the end of 2022 or the beginning of 2023. Now, I know a lot of you that are members of the Hughes Views Facebook group, which is the Facebook group that corresponds with this show. A lot of the articles and the links that I use on this program, I'll repost in that group so you guys can peruse them at your leisure. A lot of you find stuff on TikTok and then you post it in the group. And most of that stuff I deny, because I'm not on TikTok. So I don't need people finding stuff on TikTok and putting it in the Hughes Views group, because I don't trust the TikTok. So I got rid of TikTok in 2022 or early 2023. And then I was going through just these unnecessary files on my phone, because when you have a cell phone that is as old as mine, you want to delete all the unnecessary stuff to save as much memory as you can. And I had a folder on my phone, and this was like maybe 2 months ago, called ByteDance. ByteDance is the parent company of TikTok. ByteDance is also a corporation that is aligned with the Chinese Communist Party. You guys remember some time ago where they were talking about TikTok had to, it was going to get sold, and it was going to be banned in America, and there was going to be a law that was passed. And then for a while, TikTok went dark, and a whole bunch of y'all went nuts. I thought some of y'all was going to have to be put on suicide watch because the TikTok got banned. Well, the reason for the TikTok ban is because of how accurately it is not only spying on Americans, but it's collecting your data. Not just the data from when you use the app, not just collecting information on building a stronger algorithm to send you more videos that it thinks you may like, but it was monitoring everything, your phone calls, your text messages. It was on your phone. It was a piece of spyware in which the Chinese government could have a dossier on the Americans that use TikTok. And that's particularly dangerous, especially when it comes to young people, teenagers, and children that are also on TikTok. So even though I deleted the app, ByteDance still had a file on my cell phone, and to me that is petrifying. I still have not fully adjusted to the fact, I've accepted it, but this doesn't mean that I'm okay with it, that with the conveniences that we have with all of the social media that exists comes at a tremendous price. It is, in fact, our privacy. Because I remember a time where privacy was paramount. I lived in an analog world. In fact, my whole childhood was in a world where there was no social media. There weren't cameras everywhere. When you left the house, it was a mystery where you were and if you would ever come back. I remember that if you wanted to communicate with someone, they had to be at a single location because the phone number corresponded to one address. And if they weren't at that address, you literally could not talk to them. I would tell my parents where I was at. That was like a rough estimate. Hey, Mom, Dad, I'm going to Billy's house. Would I go to Billy's house? I don't know. Maybe. And if I was going to Billy's house, how long am I going to stay? I could go to 17 other places. We literally disappeared. Now you can track your kids. You can text your kids. You can call your kids. You can FaceTime your kids. There's cameras all over the place. Cameras on the top of the traffic lights and the street lights. Cameras when you go to the ATM. This is all new. You said, what did you say about the glasses, Zach?
Cameras on people's glasses.
They do got glasses cameras now.
Like the Ray-Bans and stuff. The Meta glasses.
The Google glasses where you can look at something and it'll automatically do a search. And then the ones with the cameras where you can just be walking around and just record people in public. Surveillance is everywhere all the time. And I get it. That's the way of the world. But that also keeps all of these social media apps free. Instagram is free. Threads is free. Facebook is free because our data and the information that they have and that they collect on us is worth more than any fee. It must have been, what year is this? I don't know why I keep asking what year it is. Probably 2019, 2020. There's a prompt where you can inquire what information Google has on you. And they're very transparent. This was years ago when I did this. It's probably more sophisticated now. But there was something you could search where Google would tell you all the information it had on you, right? So, of course, a lot of you have Gmail accounts. Some of you have Google Voice, phone numbers. Some of you were signed up to YouTube where you use your Gmail account to be able to chat via our YouTube message board. Well, Google was very transparent in showing us, the detailed information it has on us. It had my age, my address, my income, my hobbies, the restaurants that I go to. It was insane. But if you think about all the stuff that you Google is able to connect all of those things to you, and it had a sketch, it had a profile of who you were, and that was frightening to me. And it was accurate, shockingly accurate, dangerously accurate. And that was in probably 2019 or 2020. There was something else that I was able to find too, and this one I didn't like. Do you ever just search by voice? I'm sure you do. You iPhone people, I don't know how you guys do anything. Somebody hands me an iPhone. I don't even know what I'm looking at. But if I want to just search something, I don't want to type it in. I can click this little microphone right next to my Google search bar, and I can search something by voice, which makes it a lot easier for me because my thumbs are thick. I got thick thumbs. I got big. Huh? Well, I'm saying my thumbs are bigger than most. It's hard for me to type on a keyboard. So it's easier and more efficient for me to search by voice. Do you know that Google has a log of all of your voice searches? Did you know that? That you can go and replay everything you've ever searched for by voice. So I didn't like that part. I didn't like it. Let me tell you why. Because now they have the accurate rendition of my voice. On one show last week when I was talking about AI and how I created a jazz album via AI. And I talked about how this technology can take a layperson and make you an expert. And it can do things that you never could imagine. And I was wondering if someone really is out to do some harm and they've got sinister objectives. I gave a scenario where you might receive a telephone call. This will all be AI from a number that you know. It could be someone who was saved in your address book. And you'll answer the phone and you will think you're actually talking to that person. And they will and it'll be in their voice. So you'll recognize their voice, you'll recognize their phone number. So you'll pick the phone up and you'll be engaged in a conversation with someone about a topic that you actually discussed with that person. And it will be artificial intelligence. And I don't like the fact that Google, not to mention I can't imagine what other apps probably have our voices, and if that data gets into the wrong hands, the amount of trouble that we potentially could be in is staggering. I said all that to say this. I sometimes wonder if I should download Truth Social just so I can keep much more accurate tabs on what the Trump faithful are saying on his platform. I'll come to find out that when Marjorie Taylor Greene was here in the fall of 2023, see, I thought she tweeted it, but she put it on Truth Social, so I missed it. So apparently, people were threatening me when Marjorie Taylor Greene, because, I asked her some stuff now. I asked her if she was a racist, if Donald Trump was a racist. Her followers, and she's a QAnon person too, this insane conspiracy theory that says that Democrats are running a satanic, cannibal child sex trafficking ring with Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton being the head of that. So Marjorie Taylor Greene is a QAnon believer. Like, she believes that stuff. Okay. And so I just held her to task. I don't think that I ambushed her at all. I asked her if she was a racist. And apparently there were threats made to me. And I'm looking for it on Twitter. And I didn't see it on Twitter. That's a couple of things that people said. But apparently it was on Truth Social. And I was encouraged by one of you that said, oh, Sherwin, you need to go download Truth Social so you can see what Marjorie, because she tweeted, or she truthed rather, that she was going to be on 101.7 The Truth, a black talk radio station in Milwaukee. And one of you out there listening actually follows Marjorie Taylor Greene on Truth Social. And I was told, like, uh-oh, Sherwin, they're coming after you. You should download Truth Social so you can see what they're saying. I was like, nah, no thanks. But I did download the Signal app. The Signal app was the app that Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth used to communicate battle plans to a number of high-level officials in the federal government, people that had high-level security clearance, but then mistakenly a liberal journalist from a newspaper called The Nation was mistakenly included on a really highly classified text message chain that Pete Hegseth was using via the Signal app. And then we come to find out that a lot of people in the very highest levels of the federal government are communicating with one another using the Signal app. The Signal app is supposed to be secretive, whatever, but it is not authorized for government officials to be sharing classified information. And they got angry when Hillary Clinton was using her home computer to conduct State Department business. Being on Signal is just as bad or worse than that. And Hillary Clinton got subpoenaed, and she had to sit in front of Congress and testify about the Hillary Clinton emails. And now you have an administration that is routinely communicating classified information about a U.S. military operation and then having people on it by mistake. And imagine if by another mistake, another person that's an adversary to the United States or a foreign actor could have been privy to some of those Signal conversations. So I did download Signal because I was like, maybe Pete Hegseth will include me on some classified military conversations. But I had Signal for 2 weeks, and then I deleted it. But it makes me wonder, do I have to go down to their level? Because if they're communicating on Truth Social and you've got conspiracy theories that have embedded themselves in the mind of the president of the United States, should I be following this stuff? But I'm concerned about the risk it might be to me and to my privacy, because I don't want to have to read about Donald Trump wanting to arrest Barack Obama because they think he's a Satanist that's eating children and also sex trafficking them. But this is the way of the world, apparently. QAnon is a Nazism-inspired conspiracy theory dating back to anonymous online message board posts from a person claiming to hold Q-level security clearance that alleges the public figures, Democrats like Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton, are running a satanic child trafficking cannibal ring with world-spanning power and influence over the U.S. government specifically. There are several variants of the theory. Now remember, Marjorie Taylor Greene is a believer. Donald Trump is also a believer in QAnon. There are several variants of the QAnon theory, including some that hold either Former President John F. Kennedy or his son, John Jr., are secretly alive and leading a resistance. But a key part of this ideology is the belief that Trump is the vanguard of the fight against the shadowy group and that he will bring the perpetrators to justice with mass arrests and military tribunals. Let's just go back to John F. Kennedy, who they think he might be secretly alive, or his son, John Kennedy Jr. Both are extremely dead, okay? There's a recording, it's a tape. It's called the Zapruder film, and it shows the assassination of John F. Kennedy very clearly. I didn't know until I saw the Zapruder film that a bullet could even do that to a human skull. Like, you see his scalp explode, okay? And then, of course, Jacqueline Kennedy in that very famous picture where she's standing next to Lyndon Baines Johnson on Air Force One, where Lyndon Johnson is sworn in to be, I believe, the 36th president of the United States because John Kennedy literally shared his thoughts all over his wife's dress. And Jackie wore the dress with all the brain pieces on it and all the blood. And they said there was bits of skull in the back of that, the Lincoln that he was riding in it. But the QAnon people think, no. That was a conspiracy too. John F. Kennedy is still alive and leading QAnon. I'm going to take a break, come back, and try to find something optimistic about America and our democracy. I'll search long and hard, and we'll talk about whatever the hell that is on the other side. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. We'll be right back.
Don't touch that dial. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 101.7thetruth.com. Coming with straight truth.
So how did we get where we are now? How did we get where we are now in relation to affirmative action that people many times really don't understand what the outcome was for affirmative action? We don't understand what the outcome was for DEI, but yet we scream and praise it, but we don't really understand it.
Listen to Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris every weekday from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. on 101.7 The Truth and The Truth app.
This is Sherwin Hughes from 101.7 The Truth for Axe Housing. Are you tired of paying a landlord rent when you should be paying yourself? Do you want to leave a financial legacy, or would you like to have a stable place to call home? Well, it's time for you to start on the path to owning your own home instead of renting. You can work with an Axe Housing coach, and they will teach you how home ownership can be a reality. Axe Housing has helped over 4,000 families in our neighborhoods. Many times your mortgage will be a lot less than what you're paying for rent. As an average Axe family who has been helped pays around $900 per month. No matter what barriers you think you're facing, Axe Housing coaches can assist you right now. An Axe Housing coach will help you create and stick to a plan and a budget and get you ready for home ownership. If you're not dreaming of home ownership by now, you certainly should be. Let's make it a reality with Axe Housing. Get started on a virtual orientation by clicking on axehousing.org. That is ACTS housing.org. Don't let where you are financially right now get in the way of your very bright future of becoming a homeowner. Axe coaches are here to help.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that a lot of life's firsts are better with help from American Family Insurance. Like your first home expansion or your first big lightning strike. There's a first for everything. Get the right home policy at the right price with the right help from American Family's agents. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Experience, knowledge, results. That's what really matters when you need help after a serious truck accident. You'll need a lawyer experienced in fighting and winning for people just like you. Gruber Law Offices has the resources, strong track record of success, and a team of experienced lawyers to take care of your needs. We've successfully helped people injured in big truck accidents for more than 35 years. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
On Thursday, May 22nd, join Sharp Literacy for the 9th annual Unwrapped Milwaukee fundraising event from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. at 3rd Street Market Hall. Unwrapped is an evening of community, creativity, and food. Top area chefs will create gourmet appetizer, entree, and dessert bites using McDonald's ingredients. The fundraiser will support Sharp's STEAM-based educational program serving thousands of urban elementary students in 47 Milwaukee, Waukesha, and Racine schools. For tickets, visit sharpliteracy.org.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Eight 833-212-1017, 833-212-1017 is our phone number. You might want to save that number because that's also the number that you'll call to win stuff and to be entered to the Gruber 5K giveaway. For those of you that don't know, we give away $5,000 every 3 months. And we've given away a bunch of money. Oh, we've given away, $250,000 probably by now.
Remember when we used to give away $101 away when we first started?
Yeah, and it was
every
too
day.
much trouble. Yeah, we get $101.70 we give away every day, and it was insane because it was just too much. Because there's legal paperwork that people have to fill out, and then they wouldn't fill the stuff out in time, and then you had people that won on Monday, and then they'd be calling, complaining 2 Mondays later. So we're like, screw it, we'll give you $5,000. And we'll enter people to win for 3 months and be happy with that $5,000. The first lady that won because I think we started the $5,000 in 2022. So 2021, we were giving away the $101.70. And then 2022, that's when we transitioned to giving away the $5,000. And I remember how excited I was because we do them on different shows, right? So if I give away $5,000, then the next 3 months it'll be on Kyle's show. Then after that, it'll be Tori's show, et cetera, et cetera. I remember when it was my turn to give away the 5Gs, and the lady wasn't even the slightest bit excited. It's just not even a little bit. Listen to me. If somebody calls me and says, Sherwin, you just won $5,000, immediately I'm taking my shirt off. I don't care where I'm at. Boom, shirt is gone. I'm going to scream. I'm going to kiss somebody. Somebody's getting some sugar. I'm going to kiss somebody. I don't care where I'm at.
You want take off your shirt, Reggie. You want $5,000.
What would you?
Got to get excited. And so I don't even remember what her name was. I was like, oh my God, you just won $5,000. It was exciting for me because I've never given $5,000 away to anybody before. She was like, hey, cool. I was like, aren't you excited? She's like, yeah. So
$5,000, Patricia. You're rich. Not really, not intergenerational wealth, but you just won $5,000.
What would you?
And it wasn't even Patricia. It was because Patricia was kind of excited. But I'm genuinely that happy when I give somebody 5Gs. But that first lady, she's a black lady, very nice lady, and she just wasn't excited. And then when she came into the studio and we posed with David Gruber, because David Gruber gave her that big ass game show check, big ass fake check that you see on game shows, and she just was like, yeah. We're like, oh, what are you gonna do with the money? I don't know, probably something. Might do a little down payment on a house, maybe. I don't know what I'm gonna do. So if you win, just scream. Reggie wasn't all that excited either. He was like, I'm a rent a car and drive a bunch of veterans to Oklahoma. I was like, okay, you can do whatever you want with the money, but why that? He's like, I don't know. I'm gonna rent a car and drive to Kansas. Let's talk to the official poet laureate of 1017 The Truth, Mr. J.D. Masters. Hello, J.D. How are you?
I'm doing good. On Friday, I was listening to you and Carrie from the emergency room, and you talking about Joe Biden's health, and they talking in the chat about health. gave me a renewed perspective. It wasn't nothing like near death, but it was serious. I thought I had a hernia. I've been working out for the last 18 months, and it wasn't. It was a small cyst that I had been told was fatty tissue for 10 years by my doctors, and it wasn't. And the cyst became infected, and they had to do an emergency surgery on Friday. And while I was sitting in the hospital this weekend, I thought about this honor you and Truth Nation have bestowed on me as the poet laureate, and I haven't been calling it in. And it's not because I've been slacking. It's because you've been dropping so much knowledge since John Trump got reelected. And I've been wanting to hear. And I haven't been wanting to put my thoughts in that. But I'm back, and God gave me this gift, and I got to do it because y'all gave it to me. And I got to give the people what they want because people be saying that I don't be calling in, but I do be still having that fire. So I got a poem today, if allowed.
Absolutely, sir.
Today is the 100-year anniversary of the birth of Malcolm X. So this piece is called El Haj Malik El Shabazz. The Pilgrim Malcolm, the Patriarch, his final name. Solidified in the Black Pantheon, he gave us the game. Malcolm was a real G, even ran through Milwaukee, doing some pimping, asked my 100-year-old auntie. Went to prison like so many of you and your kids, came out alive and educated. I'm going to tell you what he did. Increased membership, the nation grew tenfold, literally influenced all of us on the TV in American households. Told you them whites was devils. We need to be separated. Europeans' history is incomparable. Met with white nationalists in 1961. Today he'd have met with Marjorie Taylor Greene to prove black resistance can be won. There were problems in the NOI. Time to team them up with civil rights organizations. Elijah Muhammad didn't want it. Time for Malcolm to lead the nation. The Civil Rights Act of 1964 must have been important. Malcolm and Martin's only meeting, both leaders talked. It's very reported. He did minister to a man known then as Louis X. Farrakhan did not have Malcolm killed. He was a minor minister in Boston. NOI history must be revealed. Know what you're talking about, ballot or the bullet. Malcolm said your vote is a weapon, so go ahead and pull it. He was talking about real revolution, not civil but human rights. Read the UN Declaration. Please don't be stupid. Malcolm was Pan-African and definitely black excellence, but you can't have your own without economic resilience. He taught us politics works with dollars. Democrats and Republicans both represent white men with dog collars. They still redlining you and putting you in cells. Get foreigners out these gas stations or our neighborhoods will continue to be held. Born a century ago, and the message still rings true. Get off your damn knees. White Jesus with a noose is coming to kill you. That's that piece.
Thank you, JD. That was incredible. Oh, and he hung up, too. Well, JD, we appreciate you, your contributions by carrying on the conversations that you do in our YouTube chat. We love seeing you at our Beyond the Mic events, and we also are happy that you are the poet laureate of 101.7 The Truth. And that's the title for life. You put that on your resume. Like, that's up there with winning an Emmy, a Grammy, an Oscar, and a Tony, because we're only going to have one poet laureate. Now, there was it is like a Nobel Peace Prize, Zach said. There was one fella that he was vying for. Remember that one fella that used to call in when Kamala was running for president? He would drop some fire, too. Now, we thought he was going to be vying for poet laureate, but we're like, no. It is an original honor, and it is bestowed for life. So, JD, thank you for your meaningful contributions, and I'm glad that you're okay with that little health scare that you had, but that is the benefit. I'm hoping you have health insurance, but health insurance, ladies and gentlemen, it is worth its weight in gold, and I hope more of you understand and appreciate that. And now, as I get older, health is wealth, because you can't do anything. You can't enjoy life. You can't go and be productive if you are not healthy. So take control of your health. I'm probably due, right? 50. I'm a black fella. Prostate cancer is not in my immediate family. My great uncle passed away from it in the early 1980s, and that is the only existence on either side of my family of prostate cancer. So it's kind of a distant family connection to prostate cancer, but I think I'm at the age where at my next checkup, I'll probably get the PSA test because it's one of those cancers where obviously it impacts black men more than anyone else. But if it's caught early, it's very, very treatable, if not curable. I know at 50, a bunch of stuff changes. I got a shingles vaccine, got a vaccine for pneumococcal pneumonia. You know what it is. Got to take your health seriously because being sick is terrible. Let's talk to Al. I saw some of your Facebook postings over the weekend, and it looks like you were seeking trouble, like a heat-seeking missile. You was hot this weekend. You was on that scotch.
Oh, I was just doing me, that's all.
Well, what happened, Al? What did you get into, or who?
Oh, I got into a lot of things and people too, but I had a good time. And I was able to recharge. Moving forward, a lot of these issues we're having right now, this is not our issues. The Republican Party, I know you brought up the truth. Well, here's the truth with the Republican Party, and I hope you self-hating blacks is listening. Y'all always in the media. Why do y'all keep on raping people? Why y'all keep touching kids? I don't understand why y'all got so many issues. These issues is created from within you. This is something you should have took care of with your mama and your papa. And I'm going to be honest with you, Mr. Hughes. These Republicans, and let's not forget the Jews, y'all all need to go into a big field. Y'all need to fight it out. Because both of y'all are neck to neck. Y'all have a very dark history. Y'all both hypocrites. Y'all both got tons of hate. You got the Jews who always crying it's anti-Semitic when their truth is free will from the history books. You got the Republicans who got all this hate. The Jews don't like the Christians. The Christians don't like anybody that's different than them. You was at Matthew 22:39. Y'all just threw all that out the window. Won't y'all all just go right in the big field and just fight it out and leave people the hell alone? I don't understand it. Y'all from birth was raised to be bastards. Y'all have a mindset of Dookie Sugar Honey Iced Tea. Then you want to dictate somebody else's happiness. We know everything you touch and create always goes down the toilet. So won't y'all just fight it out? I mean, that's y'all looking for the people with the power. Y'all in the same party. Deal with it. That's all y'all got to do. But for some reason, y'all always want to kick stuff up when it's within you. Now, the self-hating blacks, we ain't worried about them because they can go in the boxing ring with them, too, because ain't nobody worried about them. Then you have the ones crying about the Holocaust. Why are y'all crying about the Holocaust? Y'all killed 66 million people. That's on history books. That's from your heart and your free will. Then you have the racists. Y'all done did y'all stuff, but y'all are quiet about these people coming from Africa, and y'all old Republicans talk about them like trash. So won't all y'all go into a big field, because y'all both look like each other, y'all both fight, y'all in the same party, fight it out and get it done. Because I'm going to say this. Bridge over troubled water, we don't got nothing to do with it. And nobody is going to be like Aretha Franklin and say a little prayer for you. F you. BITC. And Mr. Hughes, you could say the last letter and say it strong. Because all these issues is within their party, and they need to fight it out. From the root to the tulip, from the tomb to the womb, they need to work that out. This has nothing to do with blacks. Everybody had their hand in the slave trade. Everybody had their hand in slave chips. Everybody trying to take everybody back to slavery. And then everybody want to cry the victim. Y'all need to fight it out because y'all beef is within your own party. And the self-hating blacks, you going to get your black ass up in there too because they constantly beating on y'all. And I don't hear none of y'all saying anything. Y'all sit there like good old country niggas and be quiet. I just see him walking at my door. I see him walking at my door. You can go right into that party too. And we'll be cool. Just leave everybody alone. And you have yourself a good day, Mr. Hughes. And I hope you go out this weekend and you have a party. Matter of fact, it's Monday. You go out tonight, too, but turn your phone and put it on airplane mode and get you a burner phone for the people you don't want calling your phone. Happy Monday. Bye-bye.
Bye, Al. He said a lot. I'm not going to, he told me to say the last letter of that word. I'm not going to say that. So I'm holding my mic in my hand because apparently it's broken. So I went to a black-owned business yesterday, and it was terrible, and I feel bad because I want to support this business, and it's crazy because a black operator purchased a business from a white operator that was a community staple, a multi-generational, multi-race, like everybody went to this restaurant. And the food was, it's like an American family diner, really good pizza, really good fried chicken, good wings, good pasta. It's just good food. And we've known about this restaurant since forever. And so when I found out that the current or the previous operator was going to sell it and they sold it to a black operator, I'm like, oh, this is awesome. Because all the black operator had to do was keep it the same. That's all you had to do. And they did. And I saw the menu, and the menu was the same. And I wanted some cod yesterday. I wanted some fish. You ever get a taste for something sometimes? And this place actually used to have very good cod. When it was the white owners, I'm like, oh, and they have the same menu. I kind of don't want to tell you because I feel bad. But I need our businesses to get better. I got into an argument with a 15-year-old boy. I got into an argument with a YN behind the counter. I'm going to take a break. I'm going to control myself and compose myself. I don't know if I want to talk about it because it's hard to hold black businesses accountable without making it look like I'm bashing them. But what happened yesterday is beyond unacceptable. And I hate to say this. I didn't even say nothing about the price. I didn't say nothing about the price that they had advertised was a lie because it was actually $2 more expensive. I ain't say nothing about that. But they messed my order up and they blamed me. Hold on. Listen. They blamed me for going to the website. The website is where I've been ordering food from this particular restaurant for more than 10 years, okay? They're like, you shouldn't have ordered off of the website. I was like, well, what do you mean? And he handed me a paper menu that is only available in the restaurant. He's like, this the menu you should have been ordering off of. That's why your order was messed up, because you went to the website. I was like, why don't you update the website? Well, we ain't updated because we want people to just order off the paper menu. I said, but in order for me to get the paper menu, I'd actually have to come into the restaurant because I like to order my food over the phone and then come pick my food up. He was like, that's your fault. And I was like, how come you guys haven't updated the website? You've owned this location for a year and a half. He's like, I don't know, we ain't did it yet. But that's why your order is what it is, because you messed up and you ordered off of our website. You mean to tell me I ordered off of the website that has your address and your phone number and your logo and your menu, and it's on the internet, and that's where your whole food menu is listed, and I ordered off of that, and I'm wrong because I didn't order off of a paper menu that can only be had from inside the restaurant? He said, yep. I said, well, I need my money back because the order that I placed is inaccurate. He said no. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. We'll be right back.
Say what's in your heart.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Keep your business safe, secure, and spotless with the Omega Security Guard and Cleaning Team. Proudly located in Milwaukee and female-owned, Omega delivers professional security and tailored cleaning services to meet your needs. Whether it's event security or a custom cleaning plan, their dedicated team goes above and beyond to exceed your expectations. Because at Omega, they're not just your service provider, they're your partner in peace of mind. Contact Omega Security Guard today or online at omegasecurityguard.com. Omega Security Guard and Cleaning, protecting what matters most.
Highlight your long weekend when the Brewers kick off a 3-game series against the Red Sox on Memorial Day, featuring the best way to start summer, Dollar Hot Dog Day. Keep the summer vibes going into the week as kids and seniors can get 50% off select tickets at the game on Wednesday, May 28th. What's better than a long weekend? Brewers baseball and dollar hot dogs. Find your seats today at brewers.com.
Today's Making Your Money Work is presented by Associated Bank, and now I am excited to be joined by Tamara Castle. So let's get this thing right started. We are talking about buying a home for first-time home buyers. Why do you think a credit score is important, and what score do I need to be approved for a loan?
Well, of course, we all know that credit score is important. It's really measuring your ability to borrow. So with Associated Bank, we need at least a 620 middle score. And what we do is help customers build up that credit. With me having a background as a counselor, I'm able to tell you, looking at your credit report, what little steps you will need to take to get it up to that 620. Because again, like you said, not everybody is ready to purchase with their score, but once you get some guidelines, some tips to bring that score up, we'll get you ready for the 620 and get you rolling.
I love that. So you help people actually even get it up to where it needs to be so they can buy a home.
Yes, and that makes the kind of difference between me and other loan officers is because I used to be a home buying counselor, so I can give tips while I'm actually doing the application.
What would you say are some benefits of getting a home loan with Associated Bank?
Well, number one is customer service. We strive on that, making sure that we have open communication, and again, using a CRA loan officer that's going to break down what you need versus the loan officer that just says, I can't help you. Click. We are actually going to sit with you, and whether it takes 2 weeks or 2 months or 2 years, we'll still be here to help you with that mortgage loan.
Well, I already know people are ready right now just from hearing this. So how can they contact someone at Associated Bank about getting started?
They can always go to associatebank.com. Obviously, you will look up Tamara Castle and reach out. The best way is phone 262-888-3135. We take the applications over the phone, face-to-face, or online.
I love it. Thank you so much, Tamara, for joining me here today.
Making your money work on the award-winning 1017 The Truth is sponsored by Associated Bank. Your money works here. It's The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Pretty One by Frankie Lyman. I watched the story of his life. Oh my God, so sad. Died at 25 of a heroin overdose. He was probably 14 or 15 when this song came out. And no, I don't know, 1961, give or take. Really, really sad story. You know what else is a sad story is when I go into a black-owned establishment. And let me also give you guys this bit of information about me. I'm intentional at least once a week. I wish it was more, but I'm specific with my spending. But once a week, I'm intentional in spending money at a black-owned business. But not just to spend money, like buying something that they have that I actually want, that I use, that I actually consume. Like, I don't go out of my way just to buy stuff just to buy it, because that's stupid. But there are black-owned businesses that on occasion do offer products and services that I want and that I need, that I have a demand for. So I'm intentional. At least once a week, I'm going to spend some money at a black-owned business. And so yesterday, because we have a lot of restaurants. That is one thing that we do have a plethora of. And I wanted to, because I hadn't been to this particular restaurant in a while. Now, it has been a Milwaukee community staple really since that song came out. In fact, that Frankie Lyman song, Little Bitty Pretty One, very well could have been played at the restaurant that I went to yesterday when it first opened. It opened in the late 1950s. And as of last year, that staple of a restaurant for all people in all communities for 60 plus years, it was just, I wouldn't call it a gold standard, but it was consistent. family diner style. They had a carry-out window, and they had a dining area. I've been eating there since I was a kid. And then when I found out it was sold to an African-American restaurateur who has other restaurants in the city, I'm like, oh, this is perfect. And then I meet my obligation of spending money with intention at a black-owned business. And so I order from this restaurant's website. That's what I do. I don't drive to the restaurant, place my order there, and wait on it. I order my food ahead of time. I go and I pick it up. Or I dine in, but I was not dining in yesterday. Yesterday I wanted some cod. Don't know why, I just wanted some fish. And I know that this place has always had good cod, and they give you good portions. So I go to the website, find what I want to order, call the number, place my order. They told me it'd be ready in 15, 20 minutes. Perfect. I get there. It was more expensive than what they quoted me on the phone. Fine, that's okay. I ain't tripping. It's a black-owned business. I'm going to give them some leeway. And it wasn't that much more expensive, couple of bucks, so it is what it is. And then when I got my order, you know how you can tell? Like, I can judge how much food I have and how full I'm going to get by the weight of the food itself. So, like, he handed me my brown bag with my styrofoam container in and with my cod. Felt like it wasn't nothing in it. Felt real light. I didn't like that. So I said, let me not trip. Let me go to the car and then open it up and take a look at it in the car, because I don't want to do it in a waiting area. Also, because there was other people in there. I said, let me go to the car and open it up. So it was a cod dinner. And this is going to be food for me for the whole afternoon. It's 5 pieces of fish, there's fries, and it's coleslaw. I got 3 pieces of fish, what looked like less than a small fry from McDonald's, and no coleslaw. Now I'm hot because I just paid $18.45 for 3 pieces of cod, would look like less than a small fry from McDonald's, and I didn't have my coleslaw. And damn it, I love coleslaw.
Damn.
So I go back in there and I said, hey, and I'm real polite. I said, oh, my order is incomplete. And the little young blood, he was like, well, what did you order? I ordered a cod dinner. Pull it up on my phone from the website. He was like, oh, that's what your problem is. I said, what? That's what my problem is. He's like, yeah, you ordered it off of the website. And then he hands me a paper menu. He was like, you're supposed to order off of this. I said, well, that doesn't make any sense to me because you have the website and it's live, and that's where I got your phone number from. So I'm assuming if the phone number you have on the website, which connected me to you, is also going to have an accurate menu. He's like, yeah, we ain't changed the website yet. And they have owned, the African-American operator has owned this location since February of last year. It is May of the next year, and they still haven't updated the website. Not only have they not updated the menu, they haven't updated the prices. So he charged me today's prices instead of the price that was on the menu. And the menu, you get 5 pieces of fish. I got 3. And so I said, okay, you know what? We've had a mix-up here. It's all good. I didn't touch any of the food. I want my money back. He said, well, we can't do that because we can't resell the food. I said, well, looks like we got ourselves a good old-fashioned stalemate. Let me take a break. I'll come back and let you know how this situation ended up. But I tried so hard. He said, that's what your problem is. You ordered off of the wrong menu. I ordered off of the menu that you have on the website with your address and your phone number. He said, yep, here you go. Take this menu with you. And then expected me to leave. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back.
Don't touch that dial. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
It's Dr. Ken Harris, and you can watch me now live on YouTube every weekday from 4 to 6 p.m., and you can watch the best radio show in Wisconsin by going to 1017 The Truth on YouTube. Watch me explore the issues which are shaping our community while also having fun discussions, pop culture, current events, all kind of stuff going on right here on YouTube right now by subscribing to 1017 The Truth. Milwaukee Black Talk is now streaming live on YouTube.
What are some of the things that we need to really focus on to get our fair share of these opportunities, i.e. access to capital?
You know, it's very important to always think about building a strong business plan, understanding the financial parameters around what you're trying to accomplish, building great networks and great relationships so you can have partnerships and building out your dream. And then finding a good financial partner like Old National to help really orchestrate your vision of the organization. And then, as you know, DT, you wouldn't be where you're at because you're phenomenal, doing great work. And then you have to really have to go to work. If you have that dream, you have that vision, the business plan, the financial piece, then you have to really work at it and keep building.
Learn more about the Old National Bank Small Business Empowerment Loan by visiting oldnational.com/small business or contact a small business banker at Old National Bank.
Turn up the summer vibes at Chula Vista Resort, your playground for summer dreams, water parks, and sun-soaked pools, epic water slides, soaring zip lines, and world-class golf. Dine in the #1 steakhouse in Wisconsin. Chula Vista Resort. Call 1-800-388-4782 or visit chulavistaresort.com.
Wherever you are in Wisconsin, there's a free and confidential Aging and Disability Resource Center, ADRC, or Tribal Partner Agency. We're here for older adults, adults with disabilities, and your families. ADRCs are a bridge to support for benefits and financial assistance, transportation, in-home care, and more. Get to know your local ADRC and connect with resources today. Call toll-free 1-844-WIS-ADRC or go to findmyadrc.org. Paid for by the Wisconsin Department of Health Services.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Happy kids heal faster, and that's why Starlight is dedicated to improving the mental well-being of sick kids across the U.S. Learn how at starlight.org.
Truck crash? Call Gruber Offices. One call, that's all.
More of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Hell no, to the no, no, no. Hell to the no, hell to the no, to the no, no. I see somebody has texted us at 833-212-1017 just by my somewhat of a vague description of the establishment. Not only did somebody guess it accurately, and I think they guessed it accurately in the YouTube chat as well. Damn, man, that's sad. That is. You guys ever wonder why I get so upset about our poor educational outcomes? And this is separate, but kind of connected. And I look at reading comprehension scores and how low they are. Now, some children may catch up and get on grade level. Some children may get on grade level and exceed their grade level in reading comprehension, but there's probably a lot that do not. And so the jobs that they can get and be good at, or good enough at those jobs to where they can advance and make decent money and get promoted and maybe find a better job somewhere really is contingent upon how well they can read, understand, and interpret what they have read. We have a lot of African-American owned restaurants, and I don't know if I've ever been to a black-owned restaurant and seen anyone except other African-Americans working there. Like, I've never gone to a black restaurant, whether it be a takeout joint. It's more likely that an Indian or a Middle Easterner is working at a black restaurant than a white person, right? So it's either foreigners or black people at black-owned restaurants in black neighborhoods, right? I've never seen a white person working in a black restaurant. And so if the majority of those black people that work at black-owned restaurants graduated from the Milwaukee public school system, which is a pretty safe bet, because I don't see somebody commuting here from DeForest and working in a black-owned restaurant in the city of Milwaukee. If we have young people that are coming out of MPS, whether they get their diplomas or not, if their reading comprehension is low, their ability to read a complex food order, assuming if they work at many of the Black-owned businesses, their ability to interpret a complicated food order and create that order the way somebody ordered it is going to be diminished. I've long contended that what comes out of MPS, and this is not throwing shade on the entire district because we got some fantastic schools, absolutely, but the formula that exists is not duplicated very, very well. We shouldn't have the kind of disparities that we have where you've got schools that are rated nationally and then some schools that shouldn't be open at all. Like, you should not have that kind of disparity in a district, in a city that's already segregated. So not only are we segregated as a city, our damn school system is segregated between the highest performer and the lowest performer. And you know how dangerous this can get? Because somebody might have like allergies to stuff, because, you know, people have food allergies. And if somebody's got poor reading comprehension levels because they were promoted from grade to grade to grade in MPS and they graduate, they could harm somebody or worse because of their lack of reading comprehension. But the reason why I always get so upset about it is it impacts our workforce. Black businesses cannot be successful if they are hiring people that are products of our school system and they can't read or comprehend what they read. That my order was completely messed up and the website was down. Like, that's just, it's sloppy business ownership. Like, that's rule number one. You want your menu to be available, to be accessible to people, and that's what the internet is for, but it has to be accurate. And if it's not accurate, to blame me because I didn't order from a paper menu that is only available at the restaurant itself is insane. Now, some of y'all are thinking, oh, Sherwin, you just coming down on a Black-owned business. I need our people to have a standard, because I promise to God, if we as Black diners go to a white establishment and they mess our order up that bad, we are having a whole fit. We telling all of Facebook, and we're going to call that place racist. And if it was a white-owned establishment, and if they would have messed my order up that bad, I would have said the exact same thing, and I would have called them racist too, because I can. But what I don't like is for us as a people to have a standard that is so low that we allow our businesses to be subpar and just give them a pass. Now, I hate to think that we may lose another Black-owned business, whether it's this one or another one, but we have to learn some kind of way, because we know how to be discriminating when it comes to when we go out to eat. How do I know? Because I got a bunch of friends that own restaurants, and they are white, and they cater to Black patrons. If our service is not beyond perfect, we have a fit. Yet when we go to Black-owned businesses, we allow them to be sloppy, to be rude, to be disrespectful, to mess our orders up. That's only hurting us. It's only hurting us. We absolutely have to do better. And the name of the restaurant is The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. Will be back for hour 3.
Here at the new 1017 The Truth, we aim to be a staple in Milwaukee's Black community. We are committed to partnering with local organizations and supporting Black-owned businesses. We are proud to call Milwaukee our city and promise to be a positive reflection of our community. We look forward to celebrating Black culture and excellence with you every day as we make history and continue to uplift the voices in our city. Join us for the journey at the new 1017 The Truth, founded by Gruber Law Offices. Milwaukee Black Talk.
Brew Crew Tuesdays are back on May 20th.
Churio sends it deep to left, and there she goes.
Catch the Brewers on local TV as they battle the Baltimore Orioles.
And Yelich launches one deep right center field. Forget about it. Oh my goodness, third deck.
This edition of Brew Crew Tuesdays is presented by Construction Business Group. Tune in May 20th at 6:40 on Fox 6 in Milwaukee, or check your local listings to watch the game.
Truth Nation, let us talk our ish for a moment. There is no other station in the country where you get a front row seat to hear from some of the biggest names in politics, pop culture, and sports. People like Grammy Award winner John Legend.
Knowing that fight isn't over, knowing that we've got to stay motivated and stay inspired. Glory was the song that myself and Common wrote. Two brothers from the Midwest, from Chicago and from Springfield, Ohio.
Oscar Award winning actor Don Cheadle.
I know that we're the bright, shiny thing that sometimes gets the attention, but I would say don't listen to celebrities. You don't have to listen to us. Listen to yourself.
And President Donald Trump's son, Don Jr.
When did we have a strong economy? And I don't think anyone with a straight face can say right now. And the reality, when you look at it,
It's not even voting for my father. Look at the team that's now surrounding him.
Tap into the award-winning and nationally recognized 1017 The Truth by downloading the Truth app and streaming us live at 1017 The Truth on YouTube. Milwaukee Black Talk.
Hey, wouldn't it be great if life came with a remote control? You know, you could hit pause when you needed to, or hit rewind. Like that time you knocked down that wasp's nest.
Uh-oh.
Or that time you forgot to roll up your windows in the car wash.
Fantastic.
Yeah, a remote control would have come in handy then. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes like managing your weight, getting active, stopping smoking, and eating healthier, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. It's easy to learn your risk. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Life doesn't come with a remote control. So you're on your own with the wasps. You have the power to take control of prediabetes. Visit doihaveprediabetes.org today. That's doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
Get the truth and nothing but the truth with Sherwin Hughes every weekday from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. on 1017 FM, 1510 a.m. WGKB Waukesha, and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. It's The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
A Mexican Navy ship hit the Brooklyn Bridge over the weekend. Why was a Mexican ship in Brooklyn anyway? It make a Mexican look real bad. Donald Trump going to deport you and deport the ship. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes is back at you for hour 3. Was that racist at all? Like, that's not a good look for the Mexicans. I guess they're doing these. I guess that ship is like on tour and it's going to a bunch of different ports around the world or something. I don't know. It's like, I don't know what it was, but that's not a good look. Do you think we can make it? I don't know. It look kind of low. That Brooklyn Bridge. Are you sure we can make it? Okay, everybody duck, and then it hit. It's not funny. Trump is probably like, see, that's why we're deporting them. They can't even get their ships under a bridge. Let's talk to Rocco. Have you ever had a bad experience at a black-owned business?
Yes, I had one last week. I feel bad. You know, I went into the black business, and then they said, "What's your number?" I looked at it like, and
they said it just like that too, didn't they? They gave you an attitude. What's your number?
Yeah, I said, and I just looked at it, and I ordered me some catfish. It's $16. The catfish I wanted, and then I said, "You keep the change." I gave it 20, and then, well, I'm just trying to save your money. I just walked away, and I just,
Was your catfish good? Was your order correct and complete?
Yeah, but I'm not going in for a while. People that aggravate you at these restaurants, they need money too. Their parents might not have been that great in teaching them customer service or what have you.
That's not my fault.
They need money to pay the rent. I know, but what you just said was racist.
I don't treat black people like a charity case, and I think that we need to stop doing that because it's promoting to the world a world in which we built that we're helpless. Like, we make up excuses for black folks when they do a poor job. That's not supposed to be that way. They're supposed to know, because we have a high standard for when we go out and we order something or we buy something. We know what kind of service that we require as black folks. In fact, if we don't get respect out in the world, when we go to a restaurant or go to a business where we're paying sometimes good money for our food, for our products, for our services, we demand to be treated with respect. And if we are not treated that way, we raise high hell, as we should, because we already deal with enough nonsense in the world anyway. If I'm choosing your establishment, your restaurant, and I could have went to damn McDonald's, I could have went anywhere, but I'm here spending money with you, and for them to be disrespectful, and then they didn't want to give my money back. So what they did is, let me finish my story, Bob. You just sit there for a second. So my order was short, my coleslaw, and it was short 2 pieces of fish. So instead of them giving my money back, which I asked for, I'm like, look, we had a failure of communication. I placed an order on a website. The website is not accurate. It hasn't been updated. Just give me my money back. I'll go somewhere else. And like, well, no, we'll just make you 2 pieces of fish and we'll give you coleslaw. And it made my 2 pieces of fish. Here's the problem. It took 20 minutes for them to make my 2 pieces of fish because every other order that was ahead of mine, like I was like a new carry-out order, so they had to fry my fish all over again, and it took another 20 minutes. I'm sitting in this hot-ass waiting room, get my fish, get my coleslaw, go home, and my original order was cold, which just made it all the more work. They should have just made me a whole new order. But here, I will say this, though. Fish was good as hell. The fish was delicious. The fries were cold and soggy, but the 2 pieces of fish that they fried for me fresh were delicious. But I can't go back. And I was overcharged for it too.
Sherwin, that's why I will not go out with you, just like I don't go out with my sisters. Because when people are making your food, be nice and then just don't come back. But, you getting my money back.
Oh, no, I wasn't. I didn't raise my voice. I was very matter of fact. I was like, oh, we just have a miscommunication. He was the one that got disrespectful to me, told me that I ordered from the wrong place. He's like, here, you got to order off of this menu. So, no, I didn't yell at him. I didn't do any complaining because I know better than that now.
Sure, when you said, give me your money back, and then they say, oh, we'll fix your food, and then they fix your food, and they do something to it, like drop it on the floor. You gotta be careful,
Bob. Hold on, Bob. We gotta be clear about this because a lot of people listening to our conversation right now. Business owners, y'all need to take heed of this too. If a customer is not satisfied, and the restaurant, if the store messed up on the order, a customer asking for their money back is not rude. That is exactly how it is supposed to be. And I said it in an extremely respectful way. If I go to a damn car dealership, if I order a new Chevrolet off of the internet and I get to the dealership and it's a Ford, I'm sorry, we have a failure to communicate. I ordered a Chevrolet off of the car buying website. Y'all gave me a Ford. I want my money back. I don't want any business to think that once I pay you, that money is yours. No. The money is an exchange for what I ordered. And if I don't get what I ordered, then the money must be returned. Very simple. But I'm not going to tiptoe around a black-owned business. But, well, I know y'all messed my order up, and you said it was my fault that I ordered off of your website, and it's my fault that your website ain't updated. That's insane to me. Our businesses need to learn. So, Bob, you want to play the keyboard? Because I don't want to hear whatever else you got to say, because you seem like you a sympathizer for bad black service.
Bruh. Oh, you gonna allow me to play the keyboard?
I'm actually curious to hear.
I'm ready. I know 10 songs now. I'm moving on. Now listen, don't you got to go to break right now? And then come back.
Bob,
put it on.
Bob,
yeah.
Play the keyboard right now. Play it now. Don't worry about what I'll let you know when I go to break. Play the keyboard, man. Play the keyboard.
Look, okay, I'm gonna hit it.
Stop talking.
I'm gonna hit it.
Stop stuttering.
Okay. Here it comes. Now, I don't know what's wrong here.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Hold on. Here it comes.
Power on. Bluetooth pairing.
Here it comes.
Bruh. Bluetooth connected.
Here it comes.
That's just one key.
Ain't nothing wrong
a lot wrong. Is he even playing? Kathy, you're on 101.7 The Truth.
Thank you. You know, Sherman, you're perfectly right. Black people, at least in Wisconsin, have an excuse for people who serve them wrong. They're used to waiting all day in line, and they don't mind waiting all day in line. Go to Juneteenth Day. They don't know how to make their money, okay, because they hire all their own family people who are slow. Don't listen to them at home. How you going to hire them? They don't hire outside people. They don't advertise for outside people. So you wait 2 hours in line. Not me. I'll go to the side places, people who selling outside their house on the side, and I'll get my $5 or $10 turkey leg instead of $20 and waiting 20 minutes or an hour and a half to get it. And then they need to hire other people, not just their people, to keep the line moving. I went to a place one time, and I said, no, you don't have to make it over again. I said, with the nasty waitress, I'm going to cancel it. So you know what I did? I canceled on my credit card. And then when I told them that, they kind of got a little belligerent, almost wanted me to leave. And when they did that, on that Monday, I called the health department. I found something wrong. I'm sure it would have been something wrong. So don't play games. This is a new day, a new world. We cannot keep being default on fixing people's food and customer service and think you're going to get paid. And then black people call on the radio saying, well, don't go that hard. No, you need to have structure in your business. Like you said, you looked on the menu and then you went into the place. If they change the menu, they need to update it, but they don't know how to run a business in the first place because they would have had that communicated on the website, or don't put the website up, okay? Or say website may be changed from our orders, okay? I'm not playing games with black people anymore, okay? I don't have time for that. I went to Pepper Pot this weekend. It was nice. Food was good. Everything tastes good. Pretty good service. I don't know if they know how to make real drinks at all, but it was good service up in there. Very good service. You know, it might have been a little slow, but they were quite busy because of a little birthday gathering there. But you don't have the right to take all day to fix my food, and then they should have gave you your order and put your order up there as if it was already there instead of putting it behind other orders that came through, and then gave you some fresh fries to go with that. I would have took a couple of dollars off your order also to keep you coming back. That's what I would have did. But no, we don't have the right to they don't have the right to have you come into their business and then they ain't going to serve you properly. But they don't know proper service. Mose, when he opened up, he took his people to different fine dining restaurants, learned the left side, the right side, how to put a spoon, salad, soup, fork, all that stuff, what to serve people with, okay? They showed them that. They showed them. You have to take people to places and show them. They don't know how to go in these fine restaurants and sit down and eat, and how to serve people, the right or the left side. Or if you're having a business meeting, you don't keep running back with water all day. You kind of look and say, okay, they got a meeting, talking, leave a picture on the table, and don't keep interfering, like that. We don't get good service at hardly any black place. I hate to say that. I told a guy, why did you open up so soon? You don't even know what you're doing. He said, we need help. I wasn't willing to help him because it's not my area of food. I don't like to serve black people like that. I'm not being funny. I worked at a bar part-time one time, like on Fridays, right? All the people want to do, I want 5 olives, I want this, I want that. I said, excuse me, I got other people I got to serve. And if I would have charged them for the extra olives and the lemons and whatever they wanted in their drink. And I give excellent service. I volunteered for a black person who opened up a business one time. Just for my service, that's all you got to do is give me a dinner. But I just wanted the entertainment part of the life too, right? People, we're very difficult to serve, Sherwin, very difficult. Not all of us, but a lot of us, depending on where we come from. It's very difficult to serve our black people.
Thank you, Kathy. I appreciate your call.
You're welcome.
All right. During the whole George Floyd thing, there was this focus on we need to be more accommodating to African Americans. If you guys remember, Amazon even had a section, these are black-owned businesses and these are their products. If you guys used DoorDash during the pandemic, they had a section on DoorDash, these are black-owned restaurants, right? I had a number of friends and maybe even loose acquaintances that would contact me on social media, Sherwin, I want to support Black-owned businesses and restaurants. What can you recommend? And I absolutely recommended as many as I can, and I made the mistake of following up with some of the white friends and associates and acquaintances that I referred them to Black businesses, and I wanted to know how their experience was. I'm not going to tell you the full detail of some of the reports that I got. Now, some said, oh, it was great. I love this place. Thank you for recommending it. That was maybe 40% of the situations. The other 60%, their complaints were legitimate, but then overall, there was one person said, I got bad service at this Black restaurant, but I'm going to go to this one, I'm going to go to another one, I'm going to go to another one. I'm not going to judge all Black-owned restaurants. This was a white person that just did not know about African-American-owned restaurants. And they went to several, more than I would have gone to, because I think at that point for them, it was like a science experiment. Like, I'm going to go to enough Black-owned businesses and restaurants so I can make a better, much more informed judgment on the service of Black-owned businesses in Milwaukee. And here's what their report was. We're talking like 15 restaurants over the span of probably 2 months. You know what their overall judgment was of our restaurants? Primitive. And I couldn't even get mad. I could not get mad at that assessment. Now, I heard some responses that were worse than that. And, of course, I heard some that were better. But I think that describes. I know Kathy brought up Moe's, and you guys know that is my favorite restaurant. I don't even know what second place is. It is my absolute favorite restaurant. Not just the quality of the food, but the service. I walk in. Hi, Sherwin. Welcome back. Would you be sitting at your regular table? Sherwin, we have your drink ready for you. They know me when I come in there. They know what I want to drink. They know where I want to sit. That is what I expect of that place. Problem is, my standard for service is so high that most places can't meet it. Now, Moe's is not cheap. It is not. But I've never left there. And I've had bills that varied from, I'm not even going to tell you the range. I never felt taken. I've never felt ripped off. I've never complained once, ever. And so that is my standard, because even a business that is not at the caliber of a Moe's, you can control your service, especially if your name and your family name is on the business. Because if your family name is on the business, not only is it your livelihood, it is who people think you are as a human being if you're going to have your name on a business. That's why I could never have a place called Sherwin's, because the service would have to be perfect all the time, or I'd punch my employees in the face and I'd take my shirt off just to prove my point. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. We'll be right back.
Don't touch that dial. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 101.7thetruth.com. Coming with straight truth.
So how did we get where we are now? How did we get where we are now in relation to affirmative action that people many times really don't understand what the outcome was for affirmative action? We don't understand what the outcome was for DEI, but yet we scream and praise it, but we don't really understand it.
Listen to Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris every weekday from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. on 101.7 The Truth and The Truth app.
Life's better with American Family Insurance, because whether it's a family road trip in your dream car or hosting a family reunion in your dream home, we help you feel protected so you can enjoy those dreams with peace of mind. Save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Need to look sharp for graduation? You need
the $100 hookup.
Want to get decked out for prom? Get the
$100 hookup.
An incredible deal that includes a marvelous suit, shirt, and tie, all for $100. Only at Nick Avani's, home of the
$100 hookup.
And that isn't limited to some standard stock suit. You'll be pleased by the top quality and variety of fashion offered at Nick Avani's. Get hooked up today at Nick Avani's in Mayfair Mall and at nickavanis.com.
Experience some of the most cherished popular music of all time when the Milwaukee Symphony Orchestra presents Let's Groove Tonight, Motown and the Philly Sound, May 23rd through the 25th at the Bradley Symphony Center. Byron Stripling will lead the MSO and an exciting trio of vocalists that include Broadway superstar Chester Gregory, Ashley J., and Brick Liam in a musical sojourn of hits made famous by legendary talents such as Lou Rawls, Marvin Gaye, Diana Ross, and The Temptations. Songs like My Girl, I Heard It Through the Grapevine, and I'm Coming Out will come alive in fun and stylish arrangements that are sure to have you dancing and humming along in your seat. Let's Groove Tonight, Motown and the Philly Sound runs May 23rd through the 25th only. So lock up your tickets right now by calling the box office at 414-291-7605 or visit mso.org.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
This used to be a bop. Like, my parents were like, let's cut a rug to this. America was so simple and viscerally racist. Like, you know what's crazy? Like, a bunch of country boys were listening to this, riding in a pickup truck about to go hang a black person. And isn't that just, there's something about the music of the time that was popular. It was so soft and gentle and sweet. But I would contend that Jim Crow was a more violent time for black people than Chicago is in the summertime now. I wish that we could do these comparisons, because now we see the shootings that take place in an urban area and we're just like, oh my God, these people, they're so violent. Why are you killing each other? And black on black crime. And we take a lot of the blame for that. America quickly forgets that Jim Crow wasn't just hangings. It wasn't just chaining a black man up and driving the pickup truck at 11 miles an hour, and the black man would run and run and run until he ran out of steam and he would get dragged to his death. The entire institution of Jim Crow was violent, where if a black person broke a rule, if you were really, really thirsty and you drank from the wrong drinking fountain, or if you really had to use the bathroom and the colors only bathroom either didn't exist or it was further away that you could make it, the punishment that you would receive for violating those rules were violent too. And that was every single day. And like a third of the country, that was violent. And when I take this 10,000-foot view of our community as it exists in urban areas all over this country, a lot of the violence that was aimed at us has now turned inward, and we are much more likely to be violent with one another. Because I think in some cases, we believe that is all we deserve, or that's how we are supposed to respond to one another. We don't have very good conflict resolution skills. We don't. Culturally, it's not ingrained in us like certain things are ingrained in us. But when people make that assessment of how violent we are, they don't take into account the violence that was perpetuated on us. There was 100 years of Jim Crow. 100 years. A century of it. Now, you go back 200 years prior to that, you got slavery. So as long as we are making fair comparisons, the majority of the history of this nation has been violence toward black people or violence toward others. Institutional racism, where we're not going to hire you, we're not going to give you an opportunity to live here, we're not going to treat you fairly, that is violence too, because if we stood up in the face of that kind of oppression and just simply said, hey, This isn't fair. We just want to register to vote. We pay taxes like everybody else. You take taxes out of our checks. We are paying for services in this city, in this county, in this state. We, as black people, should be able to take advantage of everything else that taxpayers, screw the race thing. Take race out of it. We are citizens. We are residents. We are workers. We participate in the economy. We work. We, provide our labor. We buy things. We pay taxes like everybody else. Let us participate in what a society offers everybody else. And it's by us saying that, we could be killed. So that was an institution of violence as well. So I don't want people to sit here and think like, oh, these blacks are just killing one another. It's turned very psychological. So the violence that was thrown at us has now been institutionalized and internalized. It's really, really an unfortunate situation. I told you that I have this algorithm where I just see a lot of fight videos. And it's always black people. Well, I'm happy to report that I did see my first white-on-white fight video, and it was better than I ever could have imagined. And so I played it, and I played it again, and I played it again, and I played it again, and I played it again. I stopped it in the middle, and I played it again. I went back to the beginning, and I played it again because I wanted to be in my algorithm. You know what it was? It was a bunch of 7-year-old white dudes on the golf course beating the hell out of each other. It was so good. They're ramming their golf carts in each other, and none of them could fight. Oh, it was so good. And there was another golfer that was maybe at a halfway between where they were in the next hole, and then he pulled out his cell phone. He's like, look at this. This is a gosh darn shame. Can you believe how these guys are acting? These guys are acting like absolute fools. And it was so funny because we don't really see a lot of white people fighting because they fight a lot too. But I don't know why it gets downplayed and gets subdued. White folks were fighting in Europe. The Protestants and the Catholics fought. I can't even tell you a difference between the religions. The Catholics have a bunch of saints. That's it. And maybe the Protestants are like, screw you and your saints. And the Catholics are like, don't talk about our saints that way. And then both of them will be dressed up like the Pope. It's just weird, and they just been fighting in Europe, and they brought some of the fights over here because the Polish people didn't like the Italians and the Greeks didn't like the Germans and the Germans didn't like anybody. But for some reason, we don't focus on the hatred that they have for one another. Do y'all know that when the Irish came here, the Irish were like the black people of Europe, which is insane to me. The Irish are just these little people that like potatoes. They have red hair and freckles. You know what I mean? They do the dancing. They river dance wherever they go. They do the river dance. And the Irish are harmless people, but they were hated. And the Irish are very quick to tell you, Sherwin, when my people came over to this country, we were hated too, They called us really terrible names. Yes, I might happen to look like a leprechaun. Let me show you how violent the whites are. You guys ever heard of the college? What do you you got it on YouTube, Zach? There's a college called Notre Dame. Oh, you look at him. I'll kick your butt, buddy. Come here. Oh, freaking. Oh, he dropped him. His shirt's off, too. I like that in him. He took his... he dropped him again. Come on, pal. Come on. Yeah, you jerk off. Punch you in your face. If you go to YouTube, you can see the white guy and there's one white lady trying to get... look at the dude in the blue shirt. Come here. You're a nerd. Yeah, you know what? Well, I stole that stock tip from you and I made more money. Oh, you did you? Oh, that's so good. Yeah, this is it. He pushed him hard. Look at him go. Got a lick in right there. Oh, look at him squaring up. Dude, don't drop your fist. You got to keep your fists up. You got to guard your grill. You got to guard your chin. Oh, this is so good. Look at that. Hold me back. Look, they're going to do with the shirt off. Swing. Boink. Dotted him right on the chin. All right, that's how the whites fight. All right, thank you, Zach, for showing us how they... Oh, yeah? Well, I'm Episcopalian. Oh, I'm Protestant. Well, I'm a Lutheran. It's not funny at all. But they're violent, too. How come they don't take more heat for being violent? Next year, in the year 2026, you guys know it's a big year next year? It's huge. It's a big year. Not only is it, and the whole year is going to be a series of commemorations. You guys know what next year is? The year 2026. Yes, we're going to have some elections. We're going to have midterm elections. We're going to have all of that. But next year is the 250th anniversary of America. So the celebrations that are commemorating our democracy being 250 years old because, July 4th, 1776, we declared our independence from England. And so they're already talking about these big celebrations and commemorations. And it's going to be a really big deal because apparently America and our experimental democracy is something to be proud of and celebrate because we made it 250 years. I would argue that we did not make it 250 years with a democracy. Our democracy has failed. Whenever you have a president that every single day thinks of a new way to put us in a constitutional crisis, when due process is gone, when Donald Trump is openly defying his Supreme Court, where he handpicked 6 or 3 of the 9 judges, there's a 6-3 conservative majority, and he is openly defying them. And there are people that are in this country legitimately that he is now deporting to El Salvador before they get a chance to get a hearing. But then he's also being selective and letting 59 South Africans come here and giving them refugee status while taking it away from everybody else, not to mention having a South African billionaire named Elon Musk that's slashing government departments and laying off workers to where the federal government is not only a shell of its former self, they have taken money away from the early warning system, the weather systems, the NOAA system. Had a tornado in Kentucky that killed 14 people, and we're going to be celebrating 250 years of this democracy? I think not. And for the majority of that time, black people were not free and had to fight to have real basic rights. Like, I want folks to just conceptualize it. I'm not trying to change anybody's mind because your mind is probably already made up on what you think the historical significance of black people is in this country. We weren't fighting and marching and protesting for reparations. Now that I think about it, we probably should have. Because if we're going to be out there in the streets getting beat to death, we should have been asking for money that we were owed. But no, we just wanted to be able to buy a house and vote. Like, buy a house with our own money and just be able to send our kids to a decent school. And for that, we were bludgeoned and jailed and killed and hung and all that other stuff. Weren't even asking for anything special. I think that's where people get it mixed up. They think that we were asking for the world. No, we were just asking to be people, which was a bridge too far, apparently, for far too many years in this country. Now, I don't hate America. I hate how stupid this country acts. Because if you love something, you have an obligation to be critical of it. It is the people that I have no affection for that I don't criticize. Some of you had parents. Some of you even had 2. Some of you were loved by your parents. They disciplined you because they wanted you to be better. They wanted you to know right from wrong. They wanted you to have a sense of morality. If your parents truly loved you, they wanted to be the best, you to be the best version of yourself. And discipline is a part of it. It is a part of love. Now, some discipline can go too far, but I think the spirit and the intent of that discipline is, I love you. I want to make sure that you do right. It is the things that we love we should be the most critical of, especially when we see that it has potential. America has a lot of potential. This country, when you think about it, and I'm not sure how I'm going to feel about all these celebrations and commemorations of America turning 250 next year. Like, it's really going to be a big deal. They're already writing stories about, like, oh, we've got the big 250-year anniversary of America. Cities are going to be doing things. Not to mention the 4th of July displays. They're going to be insane. But America is, like, people know it's screwed up, and they still want to come here. They still want to be a part of this grand experiment here that I believe is failing. You can do damn near whatever you want. There's stories of people that started with nothing, of all races, of all cultures. Maybe they're from here and they rose up out of poverty. Maybe they had an idea and that idea turned into, a business, and now they're a millionaire. It's anything you want. We have entertainment, we have art, we have culture. You can eat 24 hours a day. There's some countries that don't even really have food. Even poverty in this country has got a high standard of living. Poverty here has got an iPhone, a flat screen TV, and a very nice collection of tennis shoes. Poverty here, I'd rather be poor in America than poor anywhere else in the world. The best place to be poor. You can get on OnlyFans and see a girl you went to high school. You can see her butthole for like $7. Like, only here can you just have everything. Oh, Zach, come on. Tell me you wouldn't be tempted. It was a girl you went to high school with. She fell on hard times. She now has an OF. And they say that at least 10% of the women between the ages of 18 and 24, I don't know what it is for older ages, but there's women of all ages on OF. And like 90% of the people subscribed to OnlyFans are married men. That's wild stuff, ain't it? Damn. Yeah, it's a big mismatch. Like young girls, well, really women of all ages. And it's not expensive, because you could just, not that I know how this works, but you can just go and sign up and then cancel right away so it doesn't automatically renew. And you're only out $6.99. Or sometimes
they have a free trial.
They say, yeah, try for free for 30 days. Don't mind if I do, since you're advertising. Oh, shut up. Y'all take free stuff. There's only one thing that Americans like more than money. It's something for free. Hi, Sherwin. Welcome to Pick and Save. We have free little grilled cheese bites today as a free sample. Oh, you do? Oh, these are delicious. We love free stuff. Ladies, don't lie. That dude that you went to high school with, what if he's even more attractive now? And he has an OnlyFans. And you can sign up for free? Oh, stop it. Yes, you would. Don't lie to me. You would. Yeah, I heard about Ashley Madison. They leaked all them email addresses of all them people. I ain't ever signed up for Ashley Madison because I think that was for married people. And if I'm not married, why would you want to? Married people come with risk of death. It's not worth it. But do you guys know how convincing an unhappily married woman is? It's frightening. They're worse than a man. Because women, you guys know how to get what you want, not necessarily from each other, but how to get what you want from a man. And so a woman that is like, oh, my husband is ignoring me. I need to feel loved again. She put on her freakum dress, and y'all always got that pair of boots. You know what I mean? Put them boots on, them knee-high boots, thigh-high boots, or freakum boots. All right, I probably should take a break. I got a story here. I want to talk about food costs in America. I mean, kind of related, I guess. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. We'll be right back.
More of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes is next on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Great impressions will exceed your expectations. Great impressions, perceptions, everything.
At Great Impressions Graphics and Printing, they've been proudly serving the community for over 26 years. From their location at the corner of 54th and Burleigh in Milwaukee, their dedication to quality and customer satisfaction has made them a trusted name in printing and design. Great Impressions offer a wide range of services, including banners, posters, yard signs, business cards, programs, and postcards. Plus, they specialize in custom apparel printing, perfect for family reunions, sports outings, business promotions, and more. For your next project, visit greatimpress.com. That's greatimpress.com. Great Impressions. They're here when you need them.
Great impressions, perceptions, everything.
It's time for Truth Takes, a thought-provoking commentary on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. Here is Ben Jammin with his truth.
Truth Nation and all the juicy jammers out there, can I be honest? Honest about what? Honest about me. Honest about following your dreams. Matthew 16, verse 26. What is it profit a man to gain the world but lose his soul? I didn't know what I was getting into when my mother birthed me. I never imagined walking out of a job would lead me here. Back in 2017, I was working third shift at a grocery store, hating it. I knew I had to make a change. One day I walked out. No plan, just a leap of faith. 2 months later, I got a job with V100, and it was on and popping. I met Wiz Khalifa, Jerry Springer, Ice Cube, and Charlamagne the God. But in 2020, everything changed. COVID hit, and I was furloughed. But it gave me clarity. Clarity on who I was, who my real fans were, and what I truly wanted. After 8 months, I got an opportunity with 101.7 The Truth. I got the chance to speak on air, and things took off. I started as a producer, and now I'm the host of Jamming with Juice. I've spoken with the White House, NBA All-Stars, and even killed an unreleased track with one of your favorite rappers. Through it all, I remained vulnerable with you, Truth Nation, especially after losing my dad. But here's the truth. It's not just about following your dreams. It's about preparing for them. What you want to happen is going to happen. But if you're not ready for it, you have to watch it pass you by. As a great prophet once said, you only get one shot. Do not miss your chance to blow. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime. So if we're waiting for the divine timing of the George Floyd assassination, the time that I took for myself to become greater, or the vision of the CEO of our company, 101.7 The Truth, or myself wouldn't be here. So I'll call it divine timing. I can tell you to follow your dreams, but it's much better if you prepare for them.
This has been Truth Takes on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. Listen to Jammin' with Juice with Ben Jammin and Carrie Noni weekdays from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. This is The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Our guardian star lost all his glow the day that I lost you. He lost all his glitter the day you said no, and his silver turned to blue. Like him, I am doubtful that your love is true. But if you decide to call on me, ask for Mr. Blue. I'm Mr. Blue. Whoa, whoa. When you say you love me, Mr. Blue, then prove it by going out.
In the 1950s, like somebody was listening to this song in a 1955 Packard, right, going to prom. And then they probably made out and got frisky after prom in that same Packard in 1955. But then if the girl got pregnant, they'd like send her away. But the music is so just like gentle and soft and harmonious. But black people were getting like burned alive. It's just the contrast of history is just. This is the Fleetwoods, Mr. Blue. It's also on one of the greatest American comedies of all time, National Lampoon's Vacation. I mean, the original one with Beverly D'Angelo and Chevy Chase. And, what's the other guy's name that plays Rusty? Classic movie. But no, this song is in that movie. Got some facts for you about food costs in America. How come Donald Trump isn't being held responsible for the cost of food? Because remember when Joe Biden was president, we got mad at the eggs and all the inflations. Well, food is at its highest cost ever. From the Pew Research Center, how Americans fill their shopping carts at the grocery store is partly driven by prices. About 6 in 10 adults say food costs are extremely or very important to them when deciding what food to buy, according to a recent Pew Research Center survey. Here's what I find so interesting, because for the first time in my lifetime, you can feed yourself with restaurant food for damn near the same price as going to the grocery store. So forever, going to the grocery store is cheaper and preparing your own food is cheaper. Now, there's other things to be accounted for when you prepare your own food. There is the time cost, right? Your labor in preparing the food. And then there's, the cleanup and dishes and all that that other stuff. But because you were saving so much money by preparing your own food, whatever time you dedicate to cooking and doing the cleaning is worth it. You have so many restaurant choices that you can legitimately feed yourself with restaurant foods. And if you look on the DoorDash sometime, I don't even know how they do this. Like on my DoorDash, Culver's is $7 off. That's cheap. Now, you're not supposed to eat Culver's. However, let me say this. Culver's has a garden veggie burger, which is really, really good. It's very delicious. So just an FYI, you can get non-meat menu items at Culver's. But because there's so many restaurants and a lot of them are competitive, now some are astronomically priced, but others, if you look at so here's an example. Let's say you want to make some sandwiches. I don't know what kind of sandwiches you want to make. You want to make some sandwiches, okay? And you go to the store and you say, I got to get some sandwiches. And you buy your sandwich meat and you got to buy your breads and you got to buy all of the condiments and all of the things for your sandwich. But it's not like you can buy like 2 sandwiches worth of food. If you buy your deli meat, you buy a quarter pound or a half a pound or whatever, and you get your lettuce and you get your tomatoes and you get all the things that you would get at like a Subway restaurant. Go to the store. I'm going to go to the grocery store because I want to make sandwiches. I want to have sandwiches to eat. You might spend $47 on sandwich stuff, okay? You go to Subway, $8. That's the thing. Going to the grocery store and buying the packages of whatever you need and all of the vegetables that you need and the bread and got to have all of the other accoutrement might be more expensive than going to a place and having a sandwich made for you. Number one, costs are a key factor in many Americans' decisions to purchase food. A majority of U.S. adults, at 62%, say how much food costs is extremely or very important to them in deciding what to buy. Smaller shares of Americans say the healthiness of the food at 52%, and how convenient the food is to get and prepare, 47%, are highly important factors when deciding what to buy. How the food taste ranks the highest of the 4 considerations they asked about. 83% say this is extremely or very important to them. So we prioritize how the food tastes higher than how much it costs. And if 47% say, let me interpret these. Smaller shares of Americans say the healthiness of the food is 52%. And how convenient. Okay, so between how much the food, how good it tastes, and how much it costs, that's Americans' top decision-making factors. Number 2, most Americans say healthy food has become more expensive over the past few years. It sure has. According to the same center survey from March, 90% of adults say this, including 62% say it's become a lot more expensive to eat healthy. Few say the price of healthy food hasn't changed at 6% or has become a little less expensive at 3%. Eating healthy has always cost too much. Now, they say it's supposed to be an investment, but it gets to a point now where it's just cheaper. Like you can, $10 at McDonald's? Nah, bad example. Taco Bell is still cheap. If you get $10 worth of Taco Bell, depending upon what you order, what menu you order from, you got to open the trunk because you get a lot of food. It is cheaper compared to going to the grocery store and buying the same ingredients and then allocating your time to prepare everything. Number 3, inflation data shows that nearly every food item the government tracks has become more expensive in recent years. As of last month, the overall price of food has gone up 2% compared with the same time last year, according to the latest Consumer Price Index for all urban consumers. That data comes from the Bureau of Labor Statistics, so Donald Trump is not lowering the prices of your foods. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. We'll be right back.
Don't touch that dial. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
It's Dr. Ken Harris, and you can watch me now live on YouTube every weekday from 4 to 6 p.m., and you can watch the best radio show in Wisconsin by going to 1017 The Truth on YouTube. Watch me explore the issues which are shaping our community while also having fun discussions, pop culture, current events, all kind of stuff going on right here on YouTube right now by subscribing to 1017 The Truth. Milwaukee Black Talk is now streaming live on YouTube.
This is Sherwin Hughes from 1017 The Truth for Axe Housing. Are you tired of paying a landlord rent when you should be paying yourself? Do you want to leave a financial legacy, or would you like to have a stable place to call home? Well, it's time for you to start on the path to owning your own home instead of renting. You can work with an Axe Housing coach, and they will teach you how home ownership can be a reality. Axe Housing has helped over 4,000 families in our neighborhoods. Many times your mortgage will be a lot less than what you're paying for rent. As an average Axe family who has been helped pays around $900 per month. No matter what barriers you think you're facing, Axe Housing coaches can assist you right now. An Axe Housing coach will help you create and stick to a plan and a budget and get you ready for home ownership. If you're not dreaming of home ownership by now, you certainly should be. Let's make it a reality with Axe Housing. Get started on a virtual orientation by clicking on axehousing.org. That is ACTS housing.org. Don't let where you are financially right now get in the way of your very bright future of becoming a homeowner. Axe coaches are here to help.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that a lot of life's firsts are better with help from American Family Insurance. Like your first home expansion or your first big lightning strike. There's a first for everything. Get the right home policy at the right price with the right help from American Family's agents. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Ready to buy your first house, move into your forever home, or simply refinance? At Associated Bank, they've got you. With the right lending plan and guidance, you can achieve your dreams. Your financial goals are closer than you think, and Associated Bank is excited to help you reach them. Learn more at associatedbank.com/lending or ask a banker for details. Subject to credit approval, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Happy kids heal faster, and that's why Starlight is dedicated to improving the mental well-being of sick kids across the U.S. Learn how at starlight.org.
Bike crash? Call Gruber's offices. One call, that's all.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Tune into the award-winning 1017 The Truth's Business Spotlight Thursday at 3:57 p.m. Carrie will be joined by Ashley Lucas, Senior Vice President and Small Business Banking Sales Manager with Associated Bank. They'll be discussing banking opportunities and tips for small business owners and entrepreneurs. So again, tune into the Business Spotlight this Thursday at 3:57 p.m. on the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
Turn the dial up, it's that power in the voice. Sherwin speak truth, he ain't never had a choice. Milwaukee on the map, he connecting all the noise. Talk real, walk real, never playing with the toys. Facts load heavy when he stepped to the plate. Every segment cut deep, he be raising the state.
All right. So JD actually reminded me of something I said a long time ago. And it's from this video that Zech is about to play for us on the YouTube about the health hazards of eating out. And it's about McDonald's French fries. And I don't care who you are, a communist, a Trumper, a lefty, liberal, progressive, McDonald's makes good French fries. Cue that up for us, Zech.
Fast food companies and other food processors drive down the cost of food relentlessly and force economies of scale and efficiencies, or what are called efficiencies, on farming. And I'll just give you one example. If you go to McDonald's, anywhere in the world, you will find French fries, or chips, as you call them, and you will find that they're always made from the same potato, the russet Burbank potato. This is a potato from America that's unusually long, and difficult to grow. But that's what they want, because when you're McDonald's, you like those red boxes with a little bouquet of very long chips. It looks really good. And so they insist that all their potatoes be russet Burbanks, and they further insist that they have no blemishes at all. There's a very common defect of russet Burbank potatoes called net necrosis. And you've seen potatoes with a little brown line sometimes, or spots that come through it. Well, McDonald's won't buy them if your potatoes have that. And the only way to eliminate that is to eliminate an aphid. And the only way to do that is with a pesticide called Monitor that is so toxic that the farmers who grow these potatoes in Idaho won't venture outside into their fields for 5 days after they spray. And then when they harvest their potatoes, they have to put them in these atmosphere-controlled sheds the size of a football stadium because they're not edible for 6 weeks. They have to off-gas all the chemicals in them. So you see, the desire for a certain kind of chip leads to a certain kind of agriculture. But the other thing on the health side, when I started learning about nutrition, about which, by the way, much less is known than you might think, that the scientific understanding of nutrition is still very primitive. But I learned that what mattered most about one's health was not necessarily the nutrients, good or bad, that you were consuming or staying away from, or even the calorie counts. But what predicted a healthy diet more than anything else is the fact that it was being cooked by a human being and not a corporation. Corporations cook very differently than people do. They use vast amounts of salt, fat, and sugar, much more than you would ever use in your own cooking. And the reason they do that is those are three incredibly attractive and incredibly cheap ingredients. And when they're layered properly, as in a chip or various pastries and forms of junk food, they're incredibly addictive. And in fact, people in the industry, they don't talk about addiction in the food industry, even though they traffic in addiction. They talk about craveability. It's the same thing. And snackability is another term they use, which is a lovely word. Anyway, so I came to see that cooking has a huge bearing on our health. And in fact, there's been a lot of research in America that shows that even poor women who cook have healthier diets than wealthy women who don't. So you see, the usual class bias in the quality of diet is overtaken by this fact, this key fact. Who's cooking your food?
There you go. Cooking at home can be healthier because corporations do not prepare food nearly as healthy as someone who cooks at home. That's why knowing how to cook, whether you do it or not, knowing how to prepare a meal is dramatically more healthy. Now, the problem we're dealing with now is it's really, really expensive. For most of our lifetimes, going to the grocery store and buying your food and cooking it at home is a lot more cost effective than going to a restaurant. But now, because you have so many restaurants, and some of the menu items at certain restaurants are more affordable than going to a grocery store, plus you have the expense of your time in preparing that meal. But that's why it's necessary for people to know how to cook. Why some women still get offended when a man wants to know if she knows how to cook. And women that can't cook, instead of just saying, well, no, I never learned, or I grew up eating fast food, which is pretty common because a lot of mamas in this generation and grandmamas can't even cook. But don't get offended. If a man is asking that question, he might be asking not just for his health reasons, but also the impact on the finances of the home, because someone that cannot cook, and men, you got to know how to cook too. This is not just for women. Like, I grew up and my dad cooked nearly as many meals, especially during the week, as my mother did, because they worked different shifts. So I grew up in a household where both of my parents know how to cook and fed both myself and my brother. Knowing how to cook is a life skill, regardless of what your gender is. Thank you guys for listening. Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace is up next.
This is 1017 The Truth, Kyle Wallace, and the time is now, Milwaukee. Truth to Power is your platform. And on my